You're watching the NCAA Division II Semifinals on ESPN. From the winter wonderland that is Top Taggart Field in Big Rapids, Michigan, today we've got a classic case of David against Goliath. Newberry in the midst of the best season they've ever had against the defending national champion, Ferris State Bulldogs. Newberry kept that Cinderella run going last week in the rain at Albany State. The slipper still fits. They were down 21-3 in the first half, and then they weren't down anymore. Devron Williams, the play of the game at the tail end of the first half. The block, the scoop, the score, and Newberry never trailed the rest of the way as they advance in the rain to take on Ferris State in the semifinals. Whoever wins this game gets the winner of Kutztown and Harding, who play later on today. But all we're thinking about right now is this outstanding matchup between two teams having yet another outstanding season. Welcome to our cozy booth at Top Taggart Field with the 12-year NFL veteran Tyoka Jackson. I am merely Evan Stockton. Tyoka, seriously, this is such an awesome matchup. You got Newberry on this Cinderella run against Ferris State, who quite frankly expected to be here yet again.
Well, there's no question that they expected to be here. I mean, they've won 3 out of the 4 national championships consecutively, right? But here's the deal. I call that a dynasty. They are terrific, folks, especially on this home field. They are nearly unbeatable, but I can hear Newberry fans saying, wait a minute, not so fast. We have knocked off the number 2 and number 1 teams in our super region in consecutive weeks, and now we've got our eyes on the number 1 team in D2. I'm looking forward to this one.
It's not just the Newberry fans who are sick of hearing about the whole Cinderella thing. It's the team. When we talked to them this week, they said, stop saying that. This is not a coincidence that we're here. And when you have their offensive talent, heck yeah, they should expect to be here.
Reed Sharpie has set records in passing yards, completions, and pass touchdowns for a single season. Watch for him extending plays and making huge plays down the field. And when he does, more often than not, he's looking for Keith Gessashore. Over 1,000 yards receiving, and his 92 receptions are a school record. 10 touchdowns adding to that. This guy is terrific, but I will warn you, Reed Shepherd, be extremely careful when you are throwing the football, because defensively, they are insane at home especially, but Justin Payout specifically has intercepted 7 passes this season. This team leads the nation in interceptions. It's a no-fly zone, Evan, here on this field today. So like I said, buyer beware when you're throwing the football downfield against these guys.
And if you have battled the conditions today at Top Taggart Field, God bless you. Beware. It feels like it's below 0. Newberry goes from a driving rain last week at Albany State to a winter wonderland, a snow globe at Top Taggart Field today. Todd Knight, the head coach for Newberry, was wearing shorts all week during practice, and he was saying, you know, maybe I'll wear shorts during the game on Saturday. He's not wearing shorts.
Fake news. I mean, he was getting us hyped up. That's all that was. No question, you're not going to put those legs at risk in this cold. At least I'm not.
Yeah. We are very lucky we are inside. Thank goodness for our hardworking crew who is braving the elements today. Newberry in the white, Ferris State in the traditional playoff black. Keep an eye on Brady Rose, 22 on the left side of your screen. Someone's playing for a title next week. Off we go in the Division II semifinal. Battling the sun as this return is fielded by Tariq Brett, and he will be stopped shy of the 25-yard line. This is something to keep in mind throughout the game. The field conditions and the sun that has now started to peek through the clouds. And something else Tyoka to keep an eye on during this game today. Ferris State has played 2 different quarterbacks this year, Chase Carter and Wyatt Bauer. Number 2 Bauer began the year as the starter, but Chase Carter the last few weeks has been the starting quarterback, and look who's starting today. What's old is new. Bauer gets the start today.
And here's the cool thing about it. It doesn't matter who they start. As long as the offensive line has started, they have been prolific, and we'll get into the numbers as we go.
They're kind of like basketball on grass. They will cycle through a whole bunch of bodies. Brady Rose gets the first carry, and Mikey Blandon, Newberry's leading tackler, makes the first stop of the game.
Well, no shock that Blandon is getting off of the pile. You're going to see that a lot today. This guy is a sensational player, a great leader. He's their gray stripe guy because he's one of their captains and one of their leaders all day long. He'll be there.
Opening drive of the ball game for Ferris State. Run an option, pitching it out. Body slipping on that snowy turf. Tariq Brett angling his way out of bounds. First down of the ball game for the best offense in the country.
You're right. This is the best offense in the country. They lead the nation in total offense and scoring, and this is how they do it. They run a lot of options and motions, and they will pitch it to multiple guys. This time it's Brett going around the corner, but what you will see, regardless of who's carrying the football, these wide receivers block as well as anybody, not just in D2, in college football.
First throw, and it's dropped. Cam Underwood was wide open.
Well, so it starts with the run game, and then they'll come back with an RPO, which that was there, where they will fake the run and throw it to a guy going across the middle, and that time it was a post route. Cam Underwood decided he wanted to make a move before he caught the ball.
Give Golker, who was named tight end of the year in the GLIAC. He's a running back here, and he's loose. Escorted out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Carson Golker, the first big play of the ball game.
And I can hear the audience saying right now, tight end, well, wait a minute, he was in the backfield. This is what they do with Golker. They line him in the backfield, they line him up at quarterback. But what he is a football player. You put it in his hands, he knows exactly what to do. It's 6'3", 240 pounds, although there is some laundry on the field, so I don't think that play is going to count, folks.
They threw it back near the 40-yard line.
Holding, offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
It's a holding penalty on the left tackle, Dane Arnett. Usually don't see a lot of penalties from Tony Anese's offensive line. This is the best offensive line in Division II.
And no question about it. I mean, these guys were deep last year. They lost multiple people. They had to replace them, guys that went to FBS football from here, and they haven't missed a beat. But again, that's an early mistake, like you said, uncharacteristic for this offense.
Backs him up, second out long. Big gash up the middle. They're still cycling through bodies and getting big runs all over the place for Ferris State. Right up the chute they go with Jake Price.
So again, the offensive line says, you know what, put it on us. We screwed it up before, we're gonna run a lead draw and get bodies on bodies. And what you're seeing right there is why they're so good offensively. That offensive line gets on people and they stay on people. Rarely do you see guys get off blocks early to affect the run. Easy run up the middle for a first down, and that's a missed opportunity for Newberry defensively. They were behind the sticks. They could not keep them behind the sticks.
Thank goodness for Jaden Kennard making that tackle for Newberry. Otherwise, Price may still be running. Throw in the hands of Golker. A strong open field tackle made by Devron Williams, the guy who had that big blocked field goal in return for a touchdown last week.
Yeah, only 5'10", but 225. And his game is about quickness and speed. He's really, really good against pass. And so what you saw right there was an outstanding open field tackle, like you said. That's the type of play that can keep this offense a little bit off schedule and give them a chance to get off the field on third down.
Golker remains the running back with Wyatt Bauer. Back into the starting lineup today. Brett slipped as he went in motion. They did get it to Tariq Brett, and he got some really good blocking on the outside. Moved the sticks for Ferris State.
And this is going to be a reoccurring theme. If you haven't seen this team play, talking about Ferris State, you're going to be very impressed with how so many guys playing the wide receiver position get on blocks and run their feet without holding. And so that allows anybody to come around the line or come to the outside and get first downs just because the blocking is so good on the outside. It's really a teaching tape of how to get that done.
Play fake. Bauer taking a shot. He's got a man down there, and it's 6 for Ferris State. Oh, he dropped a dime. Bauer back in the lineup and making it happen. Tariq Bauer for 6.
So you run it, and then you go play action. And what that does to the defense is it forces their eyes to be in the backfield, and that limits the safety help. You got guys looking in the backfield, nobody's getting any drops from the second level, and it's one-on-one on the outside, and if the play is going to be successful, you need to have an accurate throw, and you got that right there by Bauer.
A couple of years ago, that quarterback and wide receiver were playing for a state championship at Corunna High School. Now they're making plays, trying to get to a Division II championship game. The best offense in college football, rolling early.
Together at the mountaintop, champions of college football.
Back at Ferris State, which is the reigning power in Division II, and Tony Annese, his quarterback last year, is one of the guys who's going to be a focal point of the college football playoff next weekend. Trinidad Chambliss, who's Ole Miss's quarterback, was Tony Annese's quarterback last year when Ferris State won the Division II championship. Man, Coach Annese, over the years, Tioka is darn proud of not just the program he's built here, but all the guys who have gone off to the NFL and higher levels of college football and had great success.
Well, and I think you're going to see that a lot more and more as we move on with the NIL, the transfer portal. It allows guys in smaller divisions, Division II, to move up and show that they belong, because you're getting a lot less high school players being recruited to play at the FBS level. So some of these guys are trickling down, being developed at outstanding programs like Ferris, getting good and moving up. Nobody does it better than the Bulldogs.
Mitch Middleton kicks it away, and a chance for a return with Alex Meeks. Room on the left side for Alex Meeks. Man, there was nobody home for Ferris State, and pretty good starting field position here for Newberry.
And so when you hear about contain, usually you're talking about a pass rush and keeping a quarterback contained in the pocket so he doesn't extend. Well, contain is important on coverage teams. And that time right there was no edge set, no containment. That's a really good job of taking full advantage of it and setting Sharpie and company up in pretty good field position.
What a story this is. Sharpie's a 25-year-old on his fourth different school. Originally, he was trying to play college baseball at USC Sumter. That didn't work. Then he walks on at South Carolina as a wide receiver, then as a quarterback at North Carolina State, and he's finally ended up back at home at Newberry, where his grandpa is a Hall of Famer. And the first pass of the game, trying to hit Quez Spells. Again, these field conditions are something we have to watch.
Yeah, no question about it. And they're going to adjust to it in real time. And when you see this offense go to empty this way, that ball is going to come out quick. And that time he just slipped. I mean, that's just going to happen. So right now you got to adjust real time, get your footing down, and realize how fast you can move and how quickly you can cut and still keep your feet.
Spells will stay in the backfield here with Reed Sharpie. We did confirm, by the way, that's how you say his last name.
Don't come for me, don't at me.
Spells gets a couple into the teeth of that Ferris State defensive line, and third down long coming up.
So you and I talked about it. I think it's going to be very important for this offense to be able to run the football, not for huge yardage necessarily, but they got to be efficient with it just to stay out of the situations they're in right now, which is third and long, because this defense feasts in this situation. They got a really good pass rush, and we talked about how they get their hands on the football with great efficiency.
25 interceptions this year for Ferris State. That leads all of Division II. Winds whipping on third down 7. Jonah Norris, the man in motion. Sharpie on cue. It's another pick. The 26th of the season for Ferris State, and the third in the playoffs for Jalen Jones.
Wow. We tell you no lies, folks. If you get in third down, obvious passing situations, you're playing into the hands of Ferris State. And this time, it's who they call the smart, natural, instinctive playmaker in Jalen Jones. He's a guy that has a lot of length, and you saw him reach in, 6'3", 200 pounds, reaching in and grabbing that football. And here's the route. Just a down into the middle route, just a square in. Very simple, but the problem is Jalen Jones is reading it all the way with his eyes on the quarterback playing zone coverage.
Wyatt Bauer back to work. Give Gulker. And he was brought down in the open field by Devron Williams. You will hear Mikey Blandon and Devron Williams' names a lot defensively for Newberry today.
Yeah, and they're going to have to now play some really good complementary football. Their offense turns it over midfield. It's imperative, it's early, but it's imperative that they stop the bleeding right now and force a punt.
Gulker again. They just look like young animals on ice right now, trying to find any sort of footing on both sides.
Well, again, it's about the offensive line. And it's offensive line. They're people movers, Evan. They get on you, they glom on you, and they stay on you, and they move people.
Bauer keep finding room right up the middle. Brought down in the secondary by Santori Jones, but that offensive line, they call themselves the Nasty Boys, and they're getting nasty early in the ballgame.
And they lost 2 offensive linemen from last year's national championship team. They went on to the Big Ten. One went to Iowa, one to Michigan, and they replaced them and haven't missed a beat.
I tell you, okay, I got to imagine if you're an offensive lineman, you wake up, it's snowing, it's single digits. You know the other team's defense does not want to play in this. If you're an offensive lineman, especially with all that talent, you kind of live for a day like that.
Of course you do. And you know your team's coming in from the South. You're thinking in your head, they don't want any of this. Let's just run the football and make them like it.
Option to the right, and Brady Rose. Down the sideline, he goes. Brady was a high school folk hero at Mona Shores in Muskegon, and since he's got here to Ferris State, he's also become a folk hero too.
This run game is just devastating. They're averaging over 300 yards a carry. You see a couple guys going off late defensively, but they average over 300 yards a game, I should say. And when you're that good at running the football, it controls the game and allows the playmaker, the play caller, to do whatever they want to do.
This is Gulker taking the direct snap. Man, if you're the other team, if you're the other defense, right, it's got to be so hard to prepare for Ferris State and that offense run by Stephen East, the offensive coordinator. There's just so many moving parts, so much you have to prepare for.
Yeah, a lot of pre-snap motion, a lot of option play. They're going to test the eye discipline of the defense, all the while they're punching you in the mouth with just dive plays.
They do get it to Rose. Got a block from Gulker. Brady Rose with a late flag down. Shoved out of bounds right near the 3 flag.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a holding penalty. One of the wide receivers getting caught holding. We talked about how good they are at blocking on the outside. I think this time they got caught with their hand in a cookie jar. Let's see what it is.
Our officials today have to be wearing minimum 6 layers. Tony Anise, the head coach for Ferris State, said he's going to wear 8.
Offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty from the spot on the foul. Repeat, second down.
Steve Anise and the offensive coaching staff for Ferris State are the luckiest men in Big Rapids, Michigan today. They get to be inside.
And so are we. Let's add us to the list as well. His dad's out there roughing it.
Tony and he said, this week in practice, I was wearing 8 layers and a heated vest. I don't like this weather, but I will be ready. Jake Price back in, and the former Muskegon Big Red is rumbling into the end zone. This is not the North Pole. This is Big Rapids, Michigan. But over the last few years, it's been Division II football heaven.
Well, it's not the North Pole, but running behind this offensive line has to feel like it's Christmas every single day. There are whole options wherever you look, and Jake Price is an explosive runner with vision.
This statistically is the best offense in college football, and you truly do not know what direction they're going to hit you at. Jake Price is supposed to be the running back who finishes games. Today, he's starting it off strong.
For the first time in program history, the national championship trophy is coming back to Big Rapids.
The second straight year. It is Ferris State's world in Division II.
Ferris State, for the 3rd time in program history, they are your 2024 Division II national champions.
Division II football heaven is Big Rapids, Michigan. Over the last half-decade, Tony Anise has built the juggernaut of all juggernauts. 7 semis in the last 9 years. They come into this game on a 28-game win streak overall. In the last 5 seasons here at Taggart Field, Tony Anese's team is 38-1. And halfway through the first quarter today, Taco Jackson, it's same song, different verse.
And let's not, get it twisted. It's not the stadium. It's not the field or the snow. It's the players and this coaching staff. And this is over multiple years. That is a winning culture, and it's built on physicality.
Second return of the game for Alex Meeks, and this time he's crushed.
Woo.
Didn't even get to the 25-yard line. That is some strong special teams work. All three phases are working in concert today. Lico Johnson, the big hit.
Yeah, that was a huge hit. And this is telling me that the home team came to play. It's not just offense, it's not just defense, it's beautiful physicality in the special teams as well. All three phases are clicking, and that's football right there, folks.
Second timeout offense for Newberry. Their last drive ended in a Reed Sharpie interception. Fake to Norris. Caught by Desashore, and he slipped again.
Yeah.
Reed Sharpie's interception on the last drive, Taoka, is continuing the really troubling trend for Newberry. Sharpie in the playoffs, those 6 interceptions. Cole Watson, the offensive coordinator, said for Newberry, one of our non-negotiables offensively is we can't turn the ball over. They're doing it too much recently.
And I asked him, was it about what Albany State was doing? He said, no, I just think that Reed missed a couple throws. And so that's just been the way it is. And I think he, threw into some coverage today and got an opportunistic defense, took advantage of it. But staying out of the third and longs, that's going to be the key, and they're at second long.
Sharpie's got a lot of time, and it's knocked away. The guy who had the pick, Jalen Jones, making like Matumbo, swatting it away.
And he had help as well. I mean, again, the decision to throw in the coverage. So, like you said, Jalen Jones and others around the football, you got to be really smart with your decision-making today, Reed Sharpie, more so than any other week, because these guys take advantage of all mistakes. And then, again, this is where this offense doesn't want to be. If you're the Wolves, third and long, look out.
Jermaine Brunson is in as the running back. He's been the third down back during the playoffs for Newberry. Third down, long. Sharpie throw, catch, first down. Newberry moves the sticks. DeAndre Coleman's got it, and they can breathe, it feels like, offensively.
No question. The Coastal Carolina transfer does a great job of running the dig route. Excellent protection. Feels comfortable, and watch him dime it. You see that throwing window? With these guys, you got to take advantage of open windows because they don't stay open very long, and that's a really good job by Sharpie, but he felt comfortable as you get a look at DeAndre Coleman, a 6'2", 215-pound sophomore.
Quick drop and throw. Back-to-back completions. Rico Dorsey takes the contact and hangs on as Alston Ware made the tackle.
So let's see if this kickstarts this offense. They are a throwing team, there's no question about it. The key to it, though, is can you be efficient on first down so that you stay out of third and long. Great job on first down, picked up 8 yards. Now it's 2nd and 2, and that makes it a lot easier for Todd Knight and this offense to make the second down call.
Sharpie, given time, and it's intercepted again! Justin Payout's 3rd interception in the last 2 weeks.
We talked about it in the open. It's a no-fly zone in his secondary. And right now, I just don't think Reed feels comfortable that he can take his time and matriculate this ball. He's taking chances, and this is a defense you don't want to take chances against because it will result in interceptions.
Ferris State's coaching staff told us if Justin Payout was a few inches bigger, he wouldn't be playing for us this weekend. He'd be playing for Alabama next weekend in the college football playoff. All 5'7", 170 of them. Justin Payout's 8th interception of the season and Ferris State's 27th of the season. It's V Week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. It's game-changing research that helps save lives. If you're able, give now at v.org/donate. 100% of donations go directly to cancer research. Any support you can give on this very special week, we appreciate it very much. And Tyoka, we appreciate the chance to watch the Nasty Boys and this great offense and defense. Brilliant so far today for Ferris State.
I want you to take a look at this opportunity for Reed Sharpie. There are guys underneath. You're going to see Brunson's wide open, and then underneath also is Gunter, number 15. He was open on the curl. You got to be smart and take chances only sparingly, but I understand what he's thinking. He's like, this offense is a juggernaut, and I got to find a way to score points, and that's how they get you, though, Evan. They force you into mistakes like this.
Bauer, deep shot, open man, just missed him. Wyatt Bauer back in the starting lineup today at quarterback, and he just missed Tarek Bauer, who hit for the first touchdown of the game.
And it's nothing fancy here. This is a go route. Can I outrun this corner down the field? And he did. Talking about Bauer, missing him, though. You wonder if the lack of practice over the last few weeks with him being out just kind of messed up the timing on that one, because that should be 6.
Again, that's one of the stories for this Ferris State offense so far. Chase Carter's been the starter throughout the playoffs, but Wyatt Bauer healthy, starting again. Another guy carrying the ball up the middle, that's Tariq Brett, who we've seen inside and outside so far in this game. It's a big third down for the Newberry defense.
No question about it. This is situational football. You got to stop on first down. Marginal gain on second down. Now you're at 3rd and 5. Can you find a way to get off this field, get some rest defensively, and put your offense on the field with at least decent field position?
Keeping it up the middle. Bauer lowered his shoulder and got the first down. Needed 6 and gained 7.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman Bauer showed me some toughness there, understanding where the sticks are and not being afraid to lower his shoulder and finish that run right at the sticks. Great job there by Bauer.
Both these quarterbacks for Ferris State, Wyatt Bauer, Chase Carter, are outstanding athletes. Wyatt Bauer won a state title in high school in the long jump. Wants to throw here. Oh, Golker. If you make a one-handed catch when it feels like -3 outside, not wearing any gloves, God bless you, Carson.
My goodness. And again, just a little bit off. Talking about Bauer, a little too far with this throw. He's got man coverage, and if you're going to be covering Carson Golker man-to-man, you better get there with the blitz. The blitz was a little late. They got exactly what they wanted and just couldn't hit it.
By the way, on second look, Carson is wearing gloves. So he's only like 2% less time, I thought. The right side of the offensive line, Bob and Tim Anderson said offside.
Yeah, I think the defense was in the neutral zone and drew that offside penalty.
Offside. Causing the offense to react. Defense, number 49. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's smart football by the Twins on the right side of that offensive line. Tim Anderson and Bob Anderson. Once that defender jumps and he's in the neutral zone, you go ahead and move and you force the striped shirts to throw the penalty marker, because it's going to be on the defense.
Golker left. Patiently waiting for blocks. Got a couple over there from Dane Arnett, the left tackle, and Cam Underwood, the wide receiver. First down.
And again, you know the blocking is outstanding when the only guy that tackles the ball carrier is the white line, the out-of-bounds line. There's not a defender in the area showing up because they are getting on blocks and staying on blocks, and they're going to go with some tempo here.
That time all the motion bit Ferris State.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. This is what they do.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
That false start was on Tim Anderson, the offensive lineman of the year in Division II.
Yeah, and that, again, that whole right side is really good. And one of the reasons because his twin brother is right next to him. But Tim Anderson, 6'6", 305 pounds. A lot of length in those arms in both of those twins. I think they both have a shot to play in the National Football League.
Deep shot, Bauer. Contested ball, and Tarek Bauer got it again. Bauer to Bauer, Corona to Corona. What a connection in the first quarter in the Division II semifinal.
Yeah, there's a problem on the outside, on either side of this defense. They can't stay with the receivers, and Bauer is just getting a step every single time, but what an outstanding catch under duress.
Price wouldn't go down. Touchdown number 2 for Jake Price.
Right now, you have it your way. Whatever you call it's working, and the reason is because the offensive line is giving the quarterback time, and they're opening up massive holes for Price and company.
Those hardy souls are loving what they're seeing at Top Taggart Field. Eddie Jewett on to do what he's done all year. Kick extra points after Ferris State touchdowns. They score 54 points per game, and 12 minutes in today, they've already got 21.
So right now, this offensive line has taken over the football game. But you gotta show some love to Price because he just runs through the tackler, doesn't get tripped up. Once he gets that close, folks, his explosion and lower leg power is impressive, especially given he's a redshirt freshman.
I mean, these numbers, you know, the phrase we always say is straight out of a video game. I mean, what's better than straight out of a video game? Because that's this Ferris State offense.
It is, and every team in the country wants to start fast, but this team is the gold standard of starting fast. Think about this. Not only have they outscored opponents by 100 points going into halftime locker room, but they average 21 points in terms of leads of all of their games going into halftime. And this is how they do it. They start fast, they get you behind, and then they unleash this defense, which are front runners. And I mean that in the most, kind way and respective way. They rush the passer and they catch interceptions. This is what they do. So the blueprint is continuing to show up for this great, great Ferris State program. But guess what? Newberry comes from behind a lot.
They do. They do. They were down 21-3 in the first half last week and came back and won. Price spells inside the 5. And he trucks his way across the 20 to the 22. Again, zooming out here. Newberry, this is the best season they have ever had. They were down 21-3 last week, came back and won. They've won 9 times this year by 7 points or less. So yes, they're used to this, but if you're Todd Knight's team, here's the problem. You did all that winning and all those comebacks against teams not named Ferris State.
That's a great point. 9-0 in one-score games. That shows the toughness mentally and physically of this football team. And they showed us something in that last drive. They were able to move the football. The problem is you got to stop turning it over.
Sharpie running option. And he ends up keeping the ball, and that play was doomed from the get-go. And that is a big-time loss on first down.
Yeah, assignment football. That's what option offense is. You're asking the defense, do you know your assignments? And the question is answered by all the guys in black jersey. There's a guy on the pitch, and there's a guy on the quarterback who shows up right there. So, yeah, they've got their assignments down. Go ahead and put that one in your back pocket.
Sharpie was trying to pitch it to his high school teammate, Will Young, but there's not enough room to do it.
Be careful if you read Sharpie.
Already 2 interceptions on 2 drives to start the game. Quick drop and throw. Price Spells has got it. There's some blocking on the outside. Excellent play call by Cole Watson to get Newberry out of a big-time hole.
Yeah, I love the call and I love the execution. You're going to see number 56, Cale Brown, getting out in space. I love when big guys get out in space. The guy in the middle of your screen right there. Cale Brown, the left guard, got out in space, and now he didn't fall down, folks. He went and found a guy to block and led the way. Beautiful job of getting upfield after catching the football, led by big number 56 in the middle of your screen.
High fake. Oh, what a catch! You're kidding me! Will Young with the highlight of the season for Newberry.
This is what this offense is capable of when they don't throw it to the other team. They are explosive through the air. That's great protection. That's great timing. Sharpie gets back, plants his foot, and throws a dart a little high. And he's been a little high all day. But Will Young, the fifth, says, you know what? I got you, bro. I'm going to go with one hand, snag that thing, and outrace the entire defense to the end zone.
Coleman Gray, number 12, is on the field. They use him as the running quarterback, and he's also the holder. They showed the old swinging gait and faked it. Burke Nettles on to try to tack on the extra point. You talk about a roller coaster start to the game offensively for Newberry. The first 2 drives, 2 picks, and drive 3, this happens.
Yeah, and he had a man in his face. That was a better throw than I even thought by Reed Sharpie. He got all kinds of business in his eyes, did not see the catch, folks. He stood in there, made the throw, ball's a little high because of the pressure, and what a beautiful job of Will Young going up and making a play for his quarterback and his team, and look at the speed to finish it off.
If the highlight of the season, Tayoka, wasn't that blocked field goal return for a touchdown last week, it was that insane play by Will Young. And insane is the perfect way to describe the offensive improvement for Newberry this season. Last year, they threw 3 touchdown passes the whole season, including that one we just watched. That's now 32 this season. Cole Watson, in his first year as the offensive coordinator, has turbocharged this offense.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the difference in this offense. Obviously, Reed Sharpie is a difference as well, but this entire design has been retooled, and you got to give a ton of credit to Cole Watson. When you make improvements like that, you start to get talked about as a guy who possibly maybe can run his own program, right? Because that's really hard to do. Going from that offense and that, as you see the play stopped there by the officials, but that passing offense was terrible. If we're going to be honest with you, last week, I mean, it was terrible. So again, the play caller with Reed Sharpie, it's been a beautiful mesh, and we saw one of the best plays all year on that last one.
For what we said, Newberry was down 21-3 last week, and the pouring rain at Albany State came back and won.
It's almost as if they play their best when they're down.
Nettles kick fielded right around the 12. Tariq Brett, big return. That was an issue last week for Newberry. Their kick coverage unit gave up a bunch of big returns, and Brett busts another big one for the Bulldogs.
And it's blocking, and whether it's the offense that's on the field, blocking from the offensive line and the wide receivers, and this time you're seeing excellent blocking from the return men, giving their guy a chance. And that's about as easy as a return as you're going to get if you're Coleman.
First 3 drives for the best offense in college football. The definition of consistent. 8 plays, 7 plays. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Here's drive number 4. Bauer, quick throw.
Double pass, maybe.
Rose was a high school quarterback, but he will hang on to the ball. You knew Newberry defensively all week in film. 22 can throw, 22 can throw.
No question about it. He's a Swiss Army knife type of guy. They get it to him in a variety of ways, and he can do a lot of different things with it.
Brady Rose won a high school state championship. The season he did it with Mona Shores was actually the COVID season here in Michigan. So technically, his high school won the 2020 state championship, but they played the game in January of 2021. They beat Warren De La Salle in the first week of January in 2021 in Ford Field.
False start again, I think.
False start. Offense number 22. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That time it was Brady Rose who went in motion a little bit too early.
And as well as they're playing right now, you got to believe that Tony Annese is not happy with these pre-snap penalties. I mean, you're at home. There's no reason to get flags when you have the football at home pre-snap.
Bauer stepping up with a lot of slippery turf in front of him. Wyatt Bauer, the Red Sea parted, and he's gone. There's a flag behind the play. I think it's coming back.
Tony Annese might lose some hair on this one.
Holding. Offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
It's on Andrew DeVries, who's one of the backup centers.
Take a look at the middle of the screen. Number 70 into his block. Quarterback draw. Now let's see. He doesn't let him get off, and he's still grabbing, still grabbing. Great job of saying I'm getting held. Gets the official's attention. Don't think that doesn't help. I've done it many times myself. Throw your hands up and say, hey, I'm trying to get off the block, but this guy won't allow me. Great job.
That looked like 95 Javion Harris, who leapt about as high in the air as he ever has, saying, he's holding me. He's holding me.
That's right.
Javion, they found it. Don't worry.
That's a vet move by the redshirt freshman. Again, though, if you're the Wolf defense, you got to capitalize on this opportunity.
Could be the final play of the quarter. Gulker to the right. He gets a large chunk of it back. He actually gets back across the original line of scrimmage. Big third down coming up when we start the second quarter. Newberry fell behind 21-0, but a 60-plus yard one-handed catch for a touchdown.
This is the end of the first quarter.
And now their defense has a chance to get off the field. The finest program in Division II football, the defending national champion Ferris State Bulldogs, having a lot of fun in a winter wonderland. For all those people who want a white Christmas, you don't have to worry about that usually in Big Rapids, Michigan. God bless all the hardworking people outside here today on our broadcast crew and just the production crew in general here at Ferris State. Doing outstanding work to make sure we can put this show on today. And, you know, all week long, Tyoka, Newberry kept talking about we'll be ready for the cold. We may wear shorts on the sidelines. What's that old Mike Tyson phrase? You're ready until you get hit in the face. They've gotten hit in the face with Mother Nature today.
And I always thought cold was more mental. They're slipping and falling. It's not just mental here, folks.
Third down and incomplete. They switched back to Chase Carter, who's been the starting quarterback the last few weeks. Wyatt Bauer played the first quarter, and Carter starts the second quarter with an incompletion.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter if it's Wyatt Bauer or Chase Carter. If number 95, Javion Harris, is going to make quick pass rushes on the inside and get in the quarterback's face, you're not going to get any first downs. So, that, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit now to Newberry's defense. They took advantage of the penalty, and now they're forcing the first punt of the game by the Bulldogs.
This is the normal look for them. Two punters. LaShawn Mumfield incomplete. He was a former quarterback at Cass Tech in high school, and what a time for that call.
I like it, though. I mean, you're up 21-7, right? And so no one's expecting it, and that's why Gulker was wide open. The ball was just thrown terribly because of the pressure. If he's able to throw a catchable football, Gulker's still running. So, yeah, you can take chances when you're up 14 and you're used to scoring 50-plus points. That's what that sort of offensive efficiency gives your offense and your entire team the ability to be aggressive and not have to worry about it. The question is, can the Wolves take full advantage?
And can they find success on the ground? It starts with a throw. Sharpie finds an open man, Gage Gunter's first catch of the game. Newberry offensively moves the sticks. Payout had to make the tackle. It's a team that has managed to score points will have a -4 rushing yards in the game.
How about that? But, you know, and we talked about this offense being able to be efficient running the ball. I'm okay with first down passes because that generally is an opportunity where you can run a play action or at least have the defense be threatened by the idea of running, and you can get the ball out of your hands without this pass rush getting to you.
Brunson run. Their best run of the game. Ken made Brunson would not go down. Eric Jackson finally corralled him in the secondary. That's a really solid gain on first down.
Yeah, and this guy is diminutive. 5'5", 175. But there is an upside to that, folks, and that is the ability to get behind that offensive line and get lost. Really good job of finishing that run off. Broke some tackles because he's thick in the lower body with some power also. It's the type of efficiency on first down, though, that you can stay on schedule offensively.
Fake, roll, Sharpie in trouble, throws it away. Gage Gunter was in the area.
Gage had to scramble to get away from pressure, but he had a wide open Gray Liebhardt over the middle of the field, the outstanding tight end, 6'4", 245 pounds. But this is what a pass rush does to you. It speeds you up and it forces the ball and the launch point to have to change, and the ball's going to come out funny. You need to throw that out of bounds just to get away from that sack. Big third down here to try to keep this football.
And you wonder, with this spot in the field, is it 4-down territory? Coleman, the man in motion. Sharpie roll. Throw, first down, and more. Rico Dorsey moves the sticks, and into the red zone goes Newberry as Davier Jones made the tackle.
Great job of Dorsey getting the ball and getting right upfield to secure the first down. But this is where Reed Sharp is at his best. On the move. His first target outside, almost a no-look. A la Patrick Mahomes. Great job of influencing the defense, looking outside at the last second. Comes back inside where Dorsey's hooking up. Beautiful job of running that play and forcing the defense to be wrong.
Yeah, I think that was a no-look pass.
It was nice.
That was pretty remarkable from Reed Sharpie. Rolling to the left again.
Throw it away.
And he does. You know, Newberry's coaching staff told us there's a little Diego Pavia in Reed Sharpie's game. You're going to watch Pavia on the Heisman ceremony tonight. Diego would be proud of that. That is no look,
yeah,
man.
That's pretty. And so what you're doing is you're influencing the defense. You're forcing them to move in the direction you want them to go. And it's at the last second. He took a little peek out of the side of his eye just to make sure, which I think is smart. But the long look outside moved the defense, understanding that he knew he had a guy around the hash that he could hit and uncover him with that look off. So important in this situation, Evan, that they come away with points and keep this game close. Timeout. I think that's a good timeout just because you understand the situation, the gravity of getting points when you've got field position against an offense like this.
Big drive for Newberry. They were down 21. If they score here, they can get it to 7. The Division II playoffs continue with a championship game next Saturday on ESPN2. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. They're hoping their Bulldogs will go back-to-back in McKinney, Texas next weekend. And oh, by the way, that would be their 4th national championship in 5 seasons. But this is a danger spot right now for Ferris State. Reed Sharpie's got Newberry in the red zone. Fake Norris. High throw. Man, that receiver coming over the middle had a step. He just missed DeAndre Coleman.
Yeah, great job of running the post route beautifully. A skinny post sort of slant. And if you're Reed Sharpie, you can't afford to miss that. I mean, these opportunities don't come very often against this defense through the air. When you see them, you better hit them, especially in this area of the field.
And oh, by the way, this is not necessarily field goal range for Newberry. Burke Nettles did make a 22-yard field goal last week, but he missed one from about this same range. Sharpie on 3rd down. Wide open, Gunter. And he's brought down by Eric Jackson shy of the goal line, but it's 1st and goal for Newberry.
Beautiful job of execution. Pre-snap, got a fly motion, and no one's there to cover him as he comes around the corner. And that's just a real simple job of realizing I got a guy open, no need to do anything extra from Sharpie. Don't miss the layup, hit the open man. That's how you get a 1st and goal, folks.
Newberry hoping for a call for 6. 1st down goal, right around the 2.
Run the football here.
Coleman Gray, the running quarterback, is into the end zone. And just like that, we've got a football game.
Love the call from Cole Watson. You just went with the pre-snap motion with Gage Gunter and got him the football. Here's the motion again, but this time you're running the football with your quarterback, and if you do that, you're going to have an advantage in the box because everybody else is taking their responsibilities. There's one less guy to take the quarterback. Love the call. Great job by Sharpie finding the end zone.
Nettles doesn't have to worry about kicking any field goals here. He can come back on to kick the extra point. Snap was low, but Coleman Gray, who just scored the touchdown, did a nice job getting that snap down. Newberry has been the cardiac wolves all season long, and maybe they're doing it again. You know, the actual temperature, I think, is 12. It doesn't feel like 12.
You eat this stuff up. Stop that. You're from Michigan, bro. You got cold blood.
As my family likes to say, we are Floridians at heart. Yes, I'm from here. Yes, I love being a Michigander, but I echo the sentiment of Ferris State's head coach, Tony Annese, who said to Tony Paul of the Detroit News earlier this week, I'm from here, I'm supposed to like this weather, I hate it. I don't know why people snowmobile, I don't know why they ski, I'm gonna have to wear 8 layers. I'm happy that we're playing in this weather because it means we're going for another national championship, but I wanna go on record. I don't like this weather. I don't like it. Brady Rose is back deep, another Michigander on a team full of them. All of a sudden, there's some game pressure on Ferris State. Raced out to a 21-0 lead, but Newberry has ripped off 14 in a row.
They took advantage of the missed fake punt, and you didn't like the call. I thought it was an aggressive call, but I'm okay with it. But guess what? You're probably right because he didn't get the first. And so now that's helped to give new life to this Wolves team.
Nettles kick, fielded on the run by Tariq Brett. Bumbling and stumbling and finding room. Tariq Brett slides down like a shortstop near midfield, traversing that icy turf for a big kick return.
Listen, this coverage team and coverage situation has to get addressed. And they're getting too much on these kickoffs, folks. And again, when no one shows up until it's the kicker, you know you got problems on your coverage squad. Great job of getting all you can get if you're Brett. But guess what? That's maybe you could even get some really good kick return with that type of blocking, Evan.
It's a little bit of a slight, but you know what? I will move past it. Chase Carter is back in at quarterback, and they hand to Brady Rose for a few. Why do you think Chase Carter is in when Wyatt Bauer started the game?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I gotta believe that pre-game there was some sort of understanding. I think there probably was a conversation because there was nothing Bauer did. All he did was get your team out to a 21-0 lead, right? So, I mean, clearly there was an opportunity to talk about this pregame and say, hey, we're going to use both guys. Uh-oh.
Oh, the ball is out. It is Newberry football. Jaden Kennard scoops it up.
Are you talking about what does it take to get back into a football game on the road where the home team almost never loses? You're watching it unfold. You stop turning it over, and then you find a way to get turnovers. And that is a great job of coming off the corner by J.B. Brigman to strip that football. The ball's not going to come out on its own, folks. You've got to force it out. 6'3", 225 pounds. I like his length, too, reaching in and getting that ball out. And you're set up again if you're Newberry.
Reed Sharpie, fastball caught by DeAndre Coleman. Again, Newberry last week in the pouring rain was down 21-3 at Albany State. They rallied back and won. This is a Newberry team that best season they've ever had, and they've won 9 games by 7 points or less. Tayoka, you said it. It's almost like they have to spot the other team a few points,
right.
And then they can really start the game.
Yeah, this is not a fluke. This is what they do, and they've done it so many times throughout the season. And when you play that many tight games, you don't panic, ever.
Give to Kenmaine Brunson. On a little bit of room as Isaiah Byers sent him out of bounds. 3rd down short coming up.
And that's that run game that you've been talking about. Can they be at least efficient? You don't have to rush for 300 yards the way that Ferris State does, but you do have to be efficient so that you're not one-dimensional and unleashing this defense to get upfield every play after your quarterback. You're going to rely on your quarterback, but mix it up just to keep the defense honest.
Jonah Norris, their super back, is with Sharpie in the gun.
Ferris State showing pressure. Let's see that super back step up and give his quarterback time.
They'll hand it to him, and Norris got popped.
Look at the effort, though.
He does have the first down. Nolan Ziegler, the Notre Dame transfer, had the first pop, and then Jonah finished the run.
Yeah, and he made Marquise Jones' helmet come off and see him trotting off the field. But that was some collision in the hole. And this is the toughness that we're talking about from this team in white. They showed up. They didn't play well early because they turned the football over. But they showed up understanding this is going to be a 4-quarter game for them.
Brunson now in as the back. Sharpie throw. Norris catch. Myers pushed him out again. But yet again, Newberry staying ahead of the chains.
There's that super back, and that's kind of a name for an H-back guy. He does a little bit of everything, similar to what on the other side Carson Golker does. But Jonah Norris, 5'11", 220. He blocks well, he can carry the football, you saw, with some toughness, and he's got some versatility and soft hands.
Jonah's from Lexington, South Carolina. Reed Sharpie and a bunch of those Newberry Wolves from the great state of South Carolina. Sharpie throw. Kenmaine Brunson catch. Kenmaine Brunson dragging Ziegler near the 20-yard line.
That's a touchdown saving tackle by Ziegler, but they're starting to find success with these screens, folks. Just a flare screen. And look at the big guys out in front. Not necessarily great blocks by the big guys, but what they do is they force defenders to try to run around them, and that opens up easy yardage there by the ball carrier. So just beautiful execution again. I love the play calling. And if you're Ferris State defensively, you got to get a problem solved with these screens.
Sharpie. Brunson had it knocked away. Giassi Madison with a late coverage.
Yeah, great job by Madison. I'd like to see him go for that football, though. The way he closed, he might have had an opportunity, but this is a rail route where you get your back on the outside trying to run up the line of scrimmage, and Madison meets the ball there and gets the ball on the ground. Great job with the hit.
Madison on that last play for Ferris State kind of looked like an outfielder in baseball tracking it down.
Yes.
Well, he started college at Santa Rosa Junior College as a baseball player.
There you go. And there, I believe there is some transferable skill with tracking the football, no question about it.
Sharpie fields a low snap.
Got him.
On a wide open man. It's incomplete. A little high for Spells, who was trying to make a one-handed catch.
And Spells runs the post corner, and he is wide open. That's the second time we've seen Sharpie miss a guy wide open. We talked about how important it is. You're playing against the #1 offense in college football, D2. You got to hit these. Would have been an amazing catch, but there's nobody around Sharpie, and this is something that he hasn't done a lot of, especially in the regular season. We talked about his struggles last week, and he's missing a couple easy throws. That's something that a guy who is a Harlan Hill finalist just doesn't do very much.
Harlan Hill is the Division II Heisman. Todd Neidleburn his second time out.
This is their second of the half.
We'll take the break with them. Big third down coming up for Newberry as they try to pull off the 3-score rally. On some days, with Newberry having the football, 3rd down 10 at Ferris State's 22, they may think they're in field goal range, but the wind's whipping. It's in the single digits. Doesn't this feel like 4-down territory here, Taggart?
I think it does, because you can make the argument that those conditions has affected Reed Sharpie's throwing ability. So with that in mind, I like the idea of being 4-down territory. I also like the idea of the quarterback run game in this situation. Maybe get yourself 5 or more to set up a short 4th down.
Sharpie's got it. Pressure's coming. Sharpie throws up a prayer out of bounds. That play was blown up right from the get-go. Looked like Caleb Davis, 44, just blew up that play.
So if you're asking for intentional grounding, I don't think you're going to get it because he's out of the pocket. Now, all he has to do is get this ball back to the original line of scrimmage, and there's no grounding. Now, you could argue he didn't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. So that part I would understand, but man, you're living dangerously, but that's outstanding pressure early to blow that entire play up.
That was Tim Allen who had the rush, and Nettles is on to try the field goal. He has made a 42-yarder this year.
You can't just pop this thing up, Evan, because the wind will take it.
Swings the left leg, and he just crushed it. I think Burke Nettles may have made that thing from 50.
That's how you do it, Mr. Nettles. He understood the assignment. He understood, I need to drive this football. We showed you the flags and how they were blowing ferociously. He understood it. Drove that ball through the wind and changed the scoreboard.
If you need a good kicker, just get a former soccer player. Burke was an all-conference soccer player in high school, and that was a heck of a kick to keep the momentum in Newberry's favor.
And when I think of former soccer players, I think of guys who can bend the ball, place the ball. That was some power right there now. That wasn't your average corner kick. You like how I did that? You didn't think I knew anything about soccer.
No, that was pretty good, Tyler.
I understand corner kicks and headers. That's all I got.
Do you have a goal call where you yell goal for 18 seconds?
No, I don't, because I'm not that cool. And thanks for exposing me, Evan. You're my partner. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it'll be the only time I throw Taggart under the bus today. I promise. I promise.
How about Newberry, though, man? I mean, the way this thing started, I would have understood if anybody had their eyebrows raised, like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like it's going to be one of them ones. Well, no. Again, we told you about how tough these guys are mentally, how they fight from behind. This is no different. You're playing the best team in D2. So as young as they are, I don't think they care about that. I think they said we're going to go out and we're going to throw our best at them and let's see what happened. Didn't start great early, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish.
And think about this, too. Newberry gets the ball to start the second half.
Great point.
So Ferris, this offensive drive, feels like they have to get some sort of points, because if this is a heavyweight fight, right? Ferris comes out swinging haymakers. Now they're staggering back into the corner.
And in heavyweight fights, some of your best options are body punches. What's body punches in football? Run the football. If you're Ferris State, that's what you do. That's who you are. Just get back to that to settle things down.
Ball came off the tee, so they got to hold it. Nettles' kick, fielded by Rose at the 5. Brady Rose coming left. Brady Rose out of bounds. Past the 20 to the 21.
Now that's improved kick coverage. Newberry, you're happy about that. Now you're forcing this offense to have to go the long way, and that hasn't been the case the last couple coverage opportunities.
Coming up later today, our other two Division II semifinal, Harding against Kutztown. Kutztown, where Andre Reed went.
Okay.
Trying to make their first ever state championship, while Harding is trying to play Ferris State for the second straight year in the playoffs. And they won the national championship in 2023, trying to win their second in 3 years.
True or false? My first NFL game was against the Buffalo Bills and Andre Reed. True or false? Real quick.
You were a Dolphin, so true.
There you go. I'm that old. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's another penalty on Ferris State. It's their third false start.
Yeah, this is a lack of
False
concentration.
start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
And there's no other excuse for this. This is a lack of concentration. This is something that hasn't happened a lot for this team. Competitive greatness starts with concentration. And right now, there's a lack of it on the Ferris State sidelines.
Carter remains at quarterback. Run an option to the right, and Brett couldn't handle the pitch. You know, if you were just looking at these two teams, you would think Newberry is the team from Big Rapids, Michigan, not from South Carolina right now.
Again, lack of concentration. Don't tell me you don't know how to play in this weather, right, to your point. It's a lack of concentration. Great job of forcing the defense to declare. The pitch is wide open, and he's got room to run if he handles the football. It wasn't like the pitch was tough. It was right in his hands. This entire offensive unit right now is showing a lack of concentration and is hurting the team.
Ball's got to go back to the spot of the fumble.
Yeah, went backwards.
Carter gives. There's just not a lot of room right now. All of a sudden, Newberry is getting bodies flying to the football, and it's about to be third down and forever.
Yeah, Eric Jackson showed me some speed there. Coming from inside out, picking him up and putting him down and running down the ball player in the open field. Every third down is a huge play for Newberry. Every time they can get off the field is a big deal against the #1 offense in D2 football.
Timeout. Newberry. This is their third and final timeout.
And if you look at the use of these timeouts, I love it all because of what I just said. These are important downs. They've called third down timeouts on offense, and they've called a couple third down timeouts on defense. Because if you're not on the screws, Ferris State will put the ball in the end zone in a hurry. So let's make sure everybody understands the situation, understands the call and what they're trying to get done defensively. Because again, if you make them punt from backed out, you're setting your offense up again somewhere around midfield.
And going back to what, Tayoka, you were talking about a little bit earlier, it must have been a plan before the game for Ferris State to play both quarterbacks, because in the first quarter with Wyatt Bauer, they scored 21 points. Since Chase Carter has come in, I don't think they have a first down.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it was a plan, and you know, the offensive coordinator Stephen East talked about we'll play both quarterbacks in the same game, and we'll play both quarterbacks at the same time. So look for that as well. But when you have two guys you trust and the offense doesn't have to change when either one of them are in, and that's a great luxury. But the bottom line right now is that I think they've got away from this running game, and it's costing this offense.
On the ground with Price. Jake's got a long way to go, and he's not even close, as he was sumoed to the ground. Akil Brown makes the tackle, and Ferris State punt unit coming on again.
Just think of this. Ferris State averaged 8.1 yards a carry in the first quarter. Somehow they've gotten away from it, and I think that's just a mistake. Pretty decent yards there on your handoff, but just sometimes the simplest thing is the best thing. Let's just see if they adjust and get back to just running the football with their tailbacks and quarterback.
Mitch Middleton to punt. And that got caught up in the wind. Middleton's punt doesn't even reach midfield. And Newberry, their offense is going to start right around the 40-yard line.
Wow. My goodness, what a turn of events. If you're just tuning in, this is not how this game started, folks. It was going all in the wrong direction for the guys in the white jerseys, but they've turned that around. That seems like ancient history, and if you're Ferris State defensively, you got to be looking at yourself and say, okay, listen, we have got to put it into this right now. This is not who we are. The way we started off is who we are, but the way we're finishing this half is not. We need to get this squared away right now.
Newberry is out of timeouts, but they're at a time and place in the game, and that's not really a factor. Jonah Norris is the back to Sharpie's right. Norris running left, and brought down by Nolan Ziegler, who's a really great story for Ferris State. Awesome high school football player at Grand Rapids Catholic Central, but 24 in black. He went to Notre Dame, and all of a sudden, he was having issues with his memory and his overall enthusiasm. Turns out he had a brain infection. He had to leave Notre Dame. Tried to go to Central Michigan. That didn't work out. And now he's found a home here with Ferris.
Very productive player. 5 quarterback hurries and 7.5 TFLs from a linebacker. Very instinctive and aggressive player.
Sharpie throw. Brunson catch. Got away from one tackle. Couldn't get away from the second. Jalen Jones finally brings him down. And it's going to be 3rd down long for Newberry.
I'm noticing a lot less slipping from these Newberry skill position players. So that's been an adjustment. Because a lot of times we saw in the first quarter guys were going down in situations like that, but that's great pursuit. Hustle to the football. Jalen Jones finishes that thing off. Now it's 3rd and long. This is where you feast if you're Ferris State. And you got to understand, again, Reed Sharpie, you've had a couple turnovers. You don't want to repeat that. If you go over the middle with this football anywhere near number 4, Justin Payout, you better be sure and darn sure.
Gotta get to the 33. Sharpie on 3rd down. He's got the 1st down and more. DeAndre Coleman, move the sticks again.
That's a thing of beauty. Watch this ball come out on time and on target. No reaction from the defense because the throw is too good. As you see this fence lining up, maybe going tempo, but that route was excellent by Coleman, and that's the type of accuracy that I saw on tape from Reed Sharpie.
Back into the red zone they go. Quick throw. Intercepted! Justin Payout just took that thing away.
My goodness, why do you continue to try him? I don't get it. Anywhere but in his vicinity. He's too good. I'm sorry, there's just some guys that are too good at what they do that you don't give them an opportunity to wreck this game. You've got all the momentum if you're Newberry. You got to find a way to not throw it anywhere near number 4. And he just outfights Will Young V for that football. There he is over the middle with the post route, and look at him drive. Wow, Payout is just a special player. And like you said, 5'7", 170 of all heart and toughness.
That is back-to-back games where Payout has 2 picks. Tariq Brett tiptoes out of bounds. I mean, you said it, there are certain players where you just don't try them. And Payout's to the point where if you're the other team, just don't even throw it near them.
And usually in college football, you run your offense and you do what the play dictates. You go through your progressions. But every now and then, there are special players, and I don't care what level it's on, that you just got to account for.
Gulker brought down. Javion Harris in on the tackle. The Ferris State coaching staff told us if Justin Payout was a little bigger, he'd be playing in Alabama.
Personal foul.
He'd be playing in
Face
Georgia.
mask. Defense number 35. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Automatic, 1st down.
As that's a big-time penalty on Newberry. And again, Justin Payout coming into the game with 7 interceptions, now 9 on the season. This is maybe the best defensive back in Division II football, and Todd Knight's team keeps throwing it his way.
Yeah, I think when you go into the locker room at halftime, that's got to be a point of emphasis and discussion to say, hey, we have tried him enough, no more.
Gulker up the middle. This looks like the Ferris State offense we saw throughout the entire first quarter.
Yeah, they will line Gulker up at tight end, H-back, quarterback, and just remember, he all conference as a tight end, but he's so much more. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a luxury for this offense. And by the way, he can block as well. And you can throw it to him out of the backfield. He can line up, split out. He can do everything. That's a luxury. Again, most offenses don't have. That's a guy that takes the job of 1 or 2 other people. Lined up at quarterback again.
And he'll keep it again. Tackled in the open field. Didn't gain anything, as that is something we need to watch now. The clock here. Mikey Blandon made the tackle. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the half. Still all 3 timeouts for Ferris State.
Tackle made by the State.
Gulker remains out there. He did play quarterback in high school, but he ran the wing tee. Went to Zeeland West, former Duck. He throws on cue to Tariq Brett. Gulker throws it out for a catch. And Newberry has got to be thinking on the sideline, seriously, how many different players can Ferris State play a quarterback?
Right. Third and what, 4.5, third and 4?
They do snap it before the 2-minute timeout, and Gulker makes it a smart decision. That's first down, Ferris State.
Keeper by Gulker.
Mikey Blandon made another tackle.
Timeout.
And the Ferris State drive continues into Newberry territory after this. All year long, when you talk Ferris State football, you talk about the best statistical offense in the country. Today, Tioka Jackson, it's their defense stepping into the spotlight.
Yeah, and you love when you big up guys that show up in the biggest of games. And again, I question the idea of throwing the football anywhere around Justin Payout because of that. There are a lot of cold individuals on the field, but Justin Payout's red hot.
Gulker remains at quarterback. Wide open Brett. Tariq Brett. Touchdown. That's the third different quarterback to play today for Ferris State, and the second different one to throw for a touchdown.
Well, listen, this is what this team does. When number 4 defensively takes the football away, they capitalized. And like you said, Gulker has shown the ability to do a little bit of everything, and he's got a receiver running up the seam wide open. He doesn't miss the layup.
Nice job getting that snap down, and Jewett makes the extra point.
But again, just being able to capitalize on the situation. You hear coaches talk about situational football. It's more than just coach speak. You've got to be able to capitalize on the moments. Manage the moment if you're defensively and take the momentum back. And if you're offensively, capitalize on the moment. You get the big interception, the big turnover. You're working on a short field, capitalize on that. And nobody does it better than the Ferris State Bulldogs.
Okay, but you talk about situational football. Weirdly, that may have been a bad thing for Ferris State to score that quickly, because Newberry's going to get the ball to start the second half. They don't have any timeouts left, but with 1:53 on the clock, and especially in college football, there is time for them here to maybe score one more time in the first half.
And that now brings up complementary football. Everything you just said is a complementary football opportunity for Newberry, but there's a complementary football opportunity for the Ferris defense as well. You understand the situation, everything you just said being true. Defensively, now you've got to go out and say, I'm going to get another 3 and out or turnover and see if we can steal another score before the half. So this is a very important sequence, to your point, in this football game.
It's Will Young back deep. Young had a one-handed catch for a touchdown earlier in the game. We'll watch the highlight at halftime. It was crazy. This ball will bound to him. Roll between his legs. That's an E6. And Newberry's going to have to go 90 yards on their final drive of the first half.
Man, just a little too casual and lackadaisical for me at the beginning of that deal by Will Young. I understand how you fell on it. That's smart. You don't want to then kick the ball, play around, and then allow Ferris State to get on it. But I think you got to be a little more intense and have a sense of urgency to come up and field that ball. And if not, get down, get low, pick it up off the dirt, and go.
And also now, too, something to think about. Ferris State has all 3 of their timeouts left. How does Tony Adese use those?
Well, I think, yeah, no question about it. If you get a stop with short yardage or even a TFL in this situation, you got to go ahead and burn that thing right away, because you don't want to help the offense with these timeouts. So you just kind of read the situation.
Sharpie falls down in the end zone.
That's a safety.
They have ruled him down at the half-yard line. One of the officials started putting his arms up for safety. Another official on the near side put the ball at the half-yard line. It is not a safety.
Timeout. Ferris State. This is their first of the half.
He's backing up. He's backing up.
Timeout.
How is that not a safety? I mean, and it's my understanding the entire ball has to be out of the end zone. This is not like, it's kind of a reverse of a touchdown where you can just pierce. the goal line and it's a touchdown, I think it's the other way around for safety. The entire ball has to be out. This is going to be reviewed. And that's one of the reasons why Ferris State called a timeout. Yeah, it stopped the clock, but also it gives these replay officials to take a look at that thing.
Well, the key is where Sharpie's, because he's got the ball in his right hand, right?
Play is under further review.
On those first couple of looks that we've seen, it does look like the ball is outside of the goal line. Oh, on that angle.
See, I don't think so. I think that the goal line hits his wrist.
Yeah.
And if the goal line hits your wrist and the way that ball is being held, I think the tip of that ball is still in the end zone.
But here's another key here, Taggart, and what do we hear all the time? You gotta be sure. Indisputable video evidence, especially in a game where you win and you play for a national championship next week.
Now look at that look right there, though, Evan. You're going to tell me that entire ball is out of there? And your point is valid. The call on the field is that this is down inside the one. So it has to be indisputable visual evidence. To me, that last look, though, is that is at that level to me. That ball is not clearly out of the end zone. I think that's 2 points for Ferris State, and they get the football. Which, by the way, would be an absolute disaster for Newberry in terms of how this thing finishes.
Think about why, as well, they had to start at the 10-yard line because they had issues fielding the ball on the kickoff return. I mean, yeah, you said it perfectly. So this could be a disaster for Newberry.
Yeah, and so I think I'm getting word that I may be incorrect, and we're going to find out. The ball has to be entirely into the end zone. Now, in my understanding, I thought it had to be entirely out of the end zone to not be a safety. I think what I'm being told is the ball has to be completely in the end zone to be a safety, and if any piece of it is not in the end zone, it's down to one. So we're going to find out.
Again, going back to what was the call on the field?
Yep.
The call on the field was that Reed Sharpie did get out of the end zone, and the ball is at the half-yard line.
That's exactly right. And if you're looking at it right there, that ball is right, that wrist of his is right on the goal line. So that means a portion of the ball, at least, is in the end zone. The question is the entirety of the ball in the end zone? And that is a tough look at that. If that is indeed the rule, that the ball has to entirely be in the end zone, I don't know that you can reverse the ball.
And initially, one of the officials was putting his arms up to call safety,
right.
But he pump faked it because then another one of the officials on the near side said, no, actually the ball's at the half-yard line.
That's exactly right. So even then there was a disagreement on the field in real time. But all of that's going to be sorted out, and they're taking their time. That shows you how close it is, and obviously it's a huge play in this ball game. So the most important thing is that they get it right, and I appreciate their opportunity to take their time and get it right.
Here's your call. I'm an amateur lip reader. The call on the field was upheld.
Yes. Yes, it was.
But I think it does go back to what we were saying. If the call on the field was safety, maybe they stick with safety. Who knows?
No, that's a great point. Tough job of overturning that. Again, understanding what the rule is.
Job's not done here for the Newberry offense, by the way. They never go under center, so they're going to have to take shotgun snaps from their end zone.
And in a situation like this against most defenses, a quick out route to get the ball out of the end zone may not be a bad idea. If you do that today, be very careful. Don't throw it anywhere near number 4.
Norris the back with Sharpie. They give it to Norris, and this time, Ferris State may have gotten the safety.
And I think they're saying that he got out again. I have yet to see a safety signal, folks. I'm not sure. To me, it looks like the side judge is spotting this thing.
They may have ruled fumble. They are signaling it's Ferris State football at the half-yard line.
So that's why he's spotting it. The ball came out. The massive humanity. I'd never seen the ball come out. Wow.
What a remarkable turn of events.
So they're just running a power dive, and he gets collision, and there it is. Ball is out. Unbelievable. What a great job of camera work by our guys. And that's Jalen Jones, who made a ton of plays today, being Johnny on the spot, hustling to the football to get it for his offense.
Direct snap, Brady Rose. And a first half that was already crazy has hit lunacy levels in the last 3 minutes.
And we said that the thought about the safety being the worst possible situation. I was wrong. A turnover at the goal line and giving up 6 points in this situation, that's the worst possible situation. And you see this offense, they are known for multiple guys scoring touchdowns. This time they bring 5'8", 175 pounds, listed, because they say he's smaller than that, in for a touchdown run.
Newberry at one point in this half was down 21-0. They rally back to 21-17, but now Ferris State rips off 14 in a row on a play where initially we're thinking safety. It turns out to be even worse for Newberry, and it's a fumble.
Listen, when you think about a game of runs, you're usually talking about basketball, but this game has been like that, a game of runs. Momentum is so important in football, and also situational football and complementary football has shown up. You've got a little bit of everything today, and that's adding up to a 35-17 lead for Ferris State.
Ferris State has still never trailed in this game. But when it was 21-17 and Newberry's got the ball, it kind of felt like Ferris State, everything was stacked against them and they were trailing.
I think the conversation is still, first of all, it's still a minute 32 left in this half, but I think the conversation at halftime for Newberry is going to be centered around not beating yourself. Think about what they've been able to accomplish when they didn't turn it over. And then think about once they did turn it over, how deadly Ferris State has been at capitalizing on those turnovers. So this, to me, with all the things that have gone on, it comes back to that. And guess what? In football, turnovers generally decided more than anything else.
Alex Meeks, fair catch. As the wind again took a hold of that kick. We just got a shot of Newberry head coach Todd Knight. He's got so many layers on his face right now. I don't know how he can see. As Reed Sharpie in the offense is coming back on the field again in a first half that is as many plot twists as a soap opera.
Yeah, and if you're Todd Knight, it wouldn't shock me at all if you're a little gun shy here. I mean, in this situation with this passing offense and your quarterback, I wouldn't have a problem with being aggressive, but wow, the way this thing is ending, I'm not even sure if I would put the ball in the air.
They will try to throw here, and they get Jonah Norris. Should have enough for the first down. Part of the problem for Newberry is you can't really just run out the clock here because Ferris State still does have 2 timeouts left.
Correct. That's exactly right. I like the idea of getting out of bounds, and it looks like they're deciding, listen, we need to see if we can change the scoreboard before the half. We talked about who gets the football to open up the second half, and that's Newberry. So even if you get 3, and then maybe you come out of the half and put up 7, that's 10. That's plus 10 right there for that scoreboard.
Sharpie throw. Was that caught with one hand?
That's incredible.
Nolan Ziegler was tugging on the left arm of Keith Desashore, and number 5 in white caught it with one right arm.
Yeah, first of all, the throw uncovers Desashore. Look at that throw, throwing it away from the defender. And that is a pass interference that does not get called, but you're right. Great job of making a one-handed catch.
Check down. Kenmaine Brunson, first down. By the way, Desashore, that was the second different one-handed catch today by Newberry. Their first touchdown, Will Young caught it with one hand. On the move, Brunson brought down. The initial hit by Stanley Lambert, who started his college career 7 years ago at Arizona State.
Wow, he's almost your age. But listen, running the football there is a smart play. I like that, but Lambert did a great job of taking care of his responsibility.
Sharpie throw.
Gotta get out of bounds.
And Young didn't. And he also didn't get the first down, so that don't stop the clock as they move the chains.
Sensational play by Eric Jackson to cut him down.
That clock ticking. Sharpie doesn't usually run it. He does run it here. And they'll stop that clock as they move the chains. Just 17 seconds to go in the half with a late flag. Todd Knight is sure hoping this isn't holding.
That might be holding against the defense, though.
Okay, so hands to the face, and now with no timeouts for Newberry, if you're Todd Knight, can you even afford to run a play anymore? Or do you have to rush the field goal unit on?
Well, I think you can run a play. The ball's got to go to the end zone, though. Or it better be towards the sidelines, right against the sidelines, so you can make the catch and get out of bounds. But there's no question you can run a couple of plays here. You just got to decide. For my opinion, there's no way I'm going over the middle of the field. All the problems have existed when they've thrown the ball over the middle. This ball's got to go outside and to the end zone.
Sharpie with a clean pocket. Intercepted! Isaiah Byers picks it off. That is the 4th interception of the first half for Reed Sharpie. The 29th Tioga interception of the season for Ferris State.
Evan, I promise you I'm not the smartest man in this stadium, but I can tell what's happening. It is a no-fly zone over the middle of this defense. Keep the ball out of the middle. This ball goes over the middle of this defense, and once again, it is picked off. There is no way I'm putting the ball at risk over the middle over the rest of this game. I'm running receivers in there. I'm showing decoys, but when these guys get a chance to catch the football, they don't miss. Isaiah Byers, great job. Interception number 5. Wow, turn of events.
After that first half we just watched, we all need to take a breath. That first half had as many twists and turns as a roller coaster. And on a day like today with the weather, I think we all wish we could go ride a roller coaster today. A couple of weeks before Christmas, this is a ride on the Polar Express today in Big Rapids, Michigan. The defending national champion Ferris State, after all of that, leads by 18 points at halftime. You remember that sketch that Bill Hader used to do as Stefan on SNL? This place has everything. This football game has everything. In a winter wonderland, top Taggart Field at Big Rapids, Michigan, that first half was lunacy. Evan Stockton, Tioka Jackson with the rest of our hardworking crew. Taka, where do you want to start? Because that first half, seriously, it was crazy.
Well, first of all, I like how you started with an SNL reference. I mean, that's amazing stuff. But listen, I look at one thing, and that's the turnovers. You get 28 points off for turnovers. That's Ferris State. This is how they live. And if you're Newberry, you have got to stop turning the football, because when you don't turn it over, you're actually really daggone good. How can we play without beating ourselves? That should be the conversation in the Newberry locker room. And we're going to find out if they get that squared away. Well,
Tiger was just talking about it. Let's go look back at a lot of those first half highlights. And what you're going to see is a lot of turnovers from Newberry. They had 5 of them. Reed Sharpie, who at one point this year went 204 passes without an interception. He threw 4 interceptions in that first half.
And it's a reoccurring theme with those interceptions. One, they pay off by getting the ball in the end zone off those turnovers. But the biggest theme is the ball's being thrown over the middle of the field. Stay away from the no-fly zone. The no-fly zone is between the hash marks, and there's the play right there that you hated, and that was Ferris State trying to go for it on 4th down. It gave some life to Newberry, and they took advantage of it. But once again, another turnover. The ball ran this time into the middle of the field, and they give it up. 28 points off of turnovers. That's really hard to overcome. But Newberry will have a chance to do just that in the second half.
Looking at those first half stats as well. Ferris dominating on the ground. Newberry dominating through the air. Wolves have been excellent on third down, but sometimes you do have to distill a sporting event down to one stat, and those turnovers are just killing Newberry.
Yeah, again, reoccurring theme. Throwing the ball over the middle is going to get you in trouble, especially if you're throwing it anywhere near the all-everything Justin payout. Stay away from number 4, stay away from the middle, and you got a chance of one of the biggest comebacks in the history of your program.
Already Newberry has rallied nearly back from 21 down today, and they're about to get the ball to start the second half. But it's getting late early at Top Taggart Field as Ferris tries to go back to the national championship. You're watching the NCAA Division II semifinals on ESPN. Big Rapids, Michigan has become a winter wonderland over the last few days. You know, those sidewalks are paved better than the roads. Just saying. Whoever wins this game will play the winner of Kutztown and Harding coming up on our second semifinal of the day, scheduled to start right around 3:30 on ESPN+. Very, very interesting, Tioka, to see whoever wins that other semifinal. Because on one side you got Kutztown, who's never made the national championship game, although they've had some really good players in that program over the years. Andre Reed, Craig Reynolds, a couple of former NFLers. And Harding, who won the national championship in 2023. So if Ferris State hangs on here, you would have 2024 champion against 2023 champion playing for 2025 championship next week.
Yeah, and regardless of who wins that game, they're going to be going against potentially the best team in D2 if Ferris State can hold on to this lead. And there is a way you have to play in order to have a chance to beat them, and that is not beat yourself. If you beat yourself, you got no shot against these guys. And again, a lot of football left to be played, but look at those defensive numbers. And that's why they're so good in the turnover margin. Third in the country in turnover margin. They came into this game plus 13 in the turnover margin. That thing has jumped to plus 17 because they're plus 4 today. 4 of those turnovers were interceptions. We saw the fumble at the goal line. But there is a formula to have an opportunity to beat these guys, and that formula has to start with not giving their offense extra possessions with turnovers. How about the muffs, though?
Yeah.
I love the sled. I love the beanie, color coordinated and all that, but the muffs, that's money right there, bro. Were those muffs I saw you wearing today, or no? Maybe I saw that wrong.
No,
okay, I saw that wrong.
Well, okay, so I was going to ask you, I meant to do this earlier. Obviously, you're former Penn State Nittany Lion. Did you ever play anything like this, even close in college?
So not quite this cold. I did play at Lambeau late on a Monday night that was really cold, but never did it ever get to anywhere near 0. And it's my understanding when we started this game, it's probably lower now, the feel-like temperature was -6. Yeah, that's a little different level for me.
I did notice after halftime, some of those hardy souls that were here at the start of the game have gone home. Mitch Middleton kicks it away. He's got the wind at his back, and he drives it through. So Newberry's offense coming back on the field. Again, 5 turnovers in the first half for Newberry, 4 interceptions for Reed Sharpie. Offensive coordinator for Newberry, Cole Watson, told us in the lead up to this game, one of our non-negotiables on offense is we got to hang on to the ball. We can't turn it over. And they didn't do a very good job of that in the first half.
It's 6-0 on the road this year, and you don't take a turnover game into the other team's stadium and expect to win. So they are not used to turning the football over, especially when they're on the road, so they need to get that squared away and in a hurry.
Start with a run to Brunson. And there's not a ton as the right side of that defensive line for Ferris State. Caleb Davis, Tim Allen, pick your poison. They were all in there.
Yeah, that's a really good job of run defense. And that's what makes this team so tough, because they are very efficient defensively on first down. That gets your offense off schedule. And then if you have a 3rd and long situation, we saw early in this game what that can do to you. They smother offenses in 3rd and long.
Newberry in the midst of the greatest season in program history. And they've won 9 times by 7 points or less. Turning back just in the nick of time, DeAndre Coleman has got it, and that's enough for a Newberry first down.
Yeah, that just in the nick of time is a great way to describe that, because the timing was perfect. When you have a perfect route with a perfect throw, it's indefensible. And that time, Sharpie threw that football before Coleman came out of his break. The placement was beautiful, and that's why there's a first down, and this is a good early start to this drive for Newberry.
They won each of the last 2 weeks by 7 points. Rallied back last week. Pressure coming from Ware. Sharpie throw, caught. Almost pick number 5, but Will Young comes back and saves his bacon.
Wow, what a play by Sharpie. This is what he does best. His superpower is extending the plays. Spin out of that, eyes in the back of his head. Now, set your feet and make an accurate throw. And I'm thinking, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, the ball wasn't thrown over the middle. So you can be a little late to the outside. He's got the arm strength to get it there. You're throwing it in the vicinity of payout, but it's outside the numbers. They've been making money all day outside the numbers.
Got it just in front of Justin Payout there. The temperature has dropped 3 degrees from kickoff. Sharpie slipping, throwing, Quez Spells catching, and he gains about 3.
And slips at the end. Now, I will say this, you got to give her credit to this Newberry team. They've done a lot less slipping than they did. The first 2 or 3 possessions, they were slipping all over the place, right? And so we talked about an adjustment being made to the field conditions. Every field's a little bit different. Did they change shoes? Not sure about that. But what I'm seeing is a lot less slipping, and a lot of times you have to remind yourself as an athlete to run with shorter steps to keep your feet underneath you, so that way you keep your balance.
Quez fell hard. Looked like he's okay. Sharpie throw, fastball caught by Jonah Norris. Doesn't have the first down yet, but it's going to be 3rd down short.
Yeah, staying ahead of the sticks. And if you're noticing, where's the ball being thrown? Outside either the hash marks or outside the numbers. Early adjustment. I believe Cole Watson and company offensively are on the same page with me, is keeping the ball out of the middle of the field.
Well, the offensive staff for Newberry is literally to the booth to our left, Tioka, so maybe they just heard you say it.
And is that why I'm getting dirty looks? I was trying to figure it out, man. I thought maybe it was my tie shirt combo. They weren't feeling it, so it's probably not that. Early timeout.
Yeah.
Timeout, Newberry. This is their first of the half.
That's us, and yeah, there they are. To your right, our left. Snow coming down in Big Rapids, and 3rd down for Newberry after this. Third down 2 for Newberry out of the timeout.
Uh-oh.
And it's about to be longer. Rico Dorsey moved.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
And we've seen a couple bad pre-snap penalties from this Ferris State offense. That's the first one I can remember from this Newberry offense. You're coming out of a timeout, very important situation in the ball game. You talked about the folks who haven't come back from halftime. It's not like this place is extremely loud right now. No reason for that if you're Dorsey. You got to lock in now.
Before the timeout, the running quarterback Coleman Gray was on the field. Now in 3rd and 7, it's no choice but to use Reed Sharpie. Pressure coming. Ziegler had the initial pressure, and then the rest of the cavalry came to get him. Isaiah Byers finished the job.
Initially, I thought Reed Sharpie was going to make another miraculous play. Take a look at the left side of your screen. You're going to see a free runner, and he feels him, and he starts to escape. But that's a great job of getting off the block and making the play if you're Isaiah Byers. Don't play behind the quarterback. Come back to the level and corral him.
They're in punt formation, but there's no punter on the field. They quick snap it to Brunson, and Kenmaine Brunson was that the play they were calling? Because if that was the play they were calling, they almost got the first down.
And I'm make no mistake. Correct me if I'm making a mistake. I think the ball was held to the line of scrimmage a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that screwed it up for Newberry. I think they wanted that to be a really quick lineup and snap the ball. I think the officials held the snap. Now there is if I'm not mistaken, a flag on the field, so we got to.
There's a flag right around where Brunson was tackled.
Yeah, we got to see what's going on there. But I think they were trying to get that snap off quickly and surprise the Ferris State defense, and I think the ball was held, and that screwed it up.
Legal formation. Offense. The penalty is declined. First out. Ferris State.
We'd have to get another look at that, because that was a punt formation with no punter, and I'm not even sure there were 11 players on the field.
That's a great point. And can you imagine if they impromptu snap the ball to the up back and he almost gets the first down? Crazy game today, and I'm loving it.
We're checking every box on the bingo board. Chase Carter at quarterback, one of the fastest men in high school in Florida when he was a prep star. Bust one here for Ferris State. They've got a first down.
And if you're fast in that state, you're really fast. And I'm not sure if that was a design run or he felt no contain right off the top of that thing. But he made the right decision either way. Both of these guys, Bauer and Carter, can run.
Give to Gulker, who threw for a touchdown in the first half. Tioka now be in the spot of the game where you're at. Up by 3 scores, 10 minutes to go in the third quarter for Ferris State. Are you still full gas on the pedal? Are you thinking all about running clock here?
No question about it. You got to play to win and score more points. There's no reason to be thinking about anything else. You see a really nice physical run again by Gulker, but there's no reason to think about anything else. Why is that? Because we saw Newberry flip the script and come back easily and quickly. So this game is not over until it's over, and I guarantee you they're going to continue to be aggressive.
Pitch it to the right. Tariq Brett with room on the right. Starting to slip on that turf again. Santori Jones made a slipping, stumbling tackle.
But let's be clear, when I talk about being aggressive, it's being aggressive within the confines of your identity. Your identity is to run the ball. That's going to keep the clock moving right now, although that ball got out of bounds. But in general, their identity is to run the football. That is going to burn clock, but they're going to do it with the intention of scoring.
Brett left. Eventually run out of bounds. Mikey Blandon dove and slowed him up. If you look on the roster, by the way, for Newberry, number 3 will be listed as Jamar Blandon, but coaching staff said everyone calls him Mikey, so just call him Mikey.
Yeah, again, he's their leader. I talked to Mikey, asked him what his superpower is, and usually when you ask a player that, he's talking about some physical attribute that makes him better than most people around him. He said, my superpower is bringing people along. I can make people believe in themselves, and I know how to help them and help the team be their best, and that told me a lot about that young man in terms of his leadership.
Give Jake Price. Got away from the first contact and kept moving that pile. Jadon Eason was taken for a ride.
When you take Jadon for a ride, that's a lot of weight to carry. This play should be over. But guess what? As a runner, I can decide when it's over because I can keep my feet moving. Great job by Jake Price. We talked about him being only 5'8", 190, but his lower body is tremendously strong.
Gulker, third down short. Didn't need a lot, didn't get a lot, but it is Ferris State first down as they approach the 10-yard line.
Gulker gets the first down, but again, put that on Jake Price, deciding that he was going to take a defensive tackle and put him on his back and carry him for about 7 or 8 yards.
3 different guys have taken quarterback snaps today. Wyatt Bauer got the start. Surprisingly, he's been battling back from injury. Chase Carter's played ever since the first quarter. Carter keeps his feet moving. Chase Carter would not be denied. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And we got some extracurricular activity. On the coldest day of the year, it's bubbling over.
Yeah, I think you had a late hit on Carter, and some of the Ferris State offensive players took exception to that, and they should take exception to it because that was a late hit. And I don't think the flag initially went down on the late hit. The flag, I think, went down after the scuffle took place. You see a player down in the middle of your screen. I'm not sure who that is. But you know there's some frustration from the Newberry Wolves in terms of what the scoreboard looks like. But no matter what, if we can get another look at that, you're going to see a late hit on Carter. There's the injured player.
Tony Anise is being told by the officials back up here. As let's watch the end of the touchdown run by Chase Carter.
He runs through a couple tackles right there, poor effort right there by multiple players, and then that, see, he had crossed the goal line at least 2 steps. There's a second step, and then there's a huge hit again, getting hit by both guys. That's Centauri Jones and others. Jones standing over him, letting him know about it, and then here comes DeVries to hit him in the back, and now this is punching. Now, you know, this is where now you get thrown out of the game. And there's no need to throw punches at all. It's a very physical game. You can get people back, but if you're McFadden, why you would throw a punch and put the rest of this game in jeopardy for yourself and by extension your team is, I don't know. I mean, what are you going to hit? You're going to hit a face mask and break your hand? I always thought it was silly when guys would throw punches at a helmet. I guarantee you, folks, that helmet is extremely hard. And because it's freezing outside, it's even harder than normal. So making contact at that is going to do no harm to who you're throwing the punch at. It's only going to do harm to you. And then getting thrown out of the game is doubling the harm up. So there's the offensive line coming to protect their guy like they do. Now just push. And there's another punch. Where's that number? Is that number?
That was Kennard, Jaden, number 29.
And I don't know if the officials saw that, but he threw a punch from behind. So that's multiple players throwing punches. And it's usually never the first guy. It's usually the second guy to get it. But I think in this situation, I think they got the first guy who threw the punch.
So now they got to sort all of this out. You know, of all of that, Tioka, I think the only thing that's understandable is Centauri Jones, yes, Carter was in the end zone, but I guess I can understand trying to make a hit at the end of that play. But everything else for Newberry there, I think we can all agree was inexcusable.
So, you know, yeah, look, I think he was in the end zone by way too much to be hitting him. But if you do, you let that go and let that be the end of it. And again, the officials did not throw a flag on that initial hit, so maybe they're thinking like you, that it wasn't really an egregious play. Like you said, the rest of this, though, that's trash. That's not football. That's guys being selfish and hurting their team. And if there's anybody in black jerseys throwing punches, I'm talking about them too.
And plus, after Jones laid the hit, I think the thing that escalated all of it was he got above Carter and started clapping in his face, and then that just set it all off.
And that gave enough time for, I think that was DeVries to come in and take up for his quarterback. And again, I have no problem with that. He came in pushing, though. And usually you can get away with some pushing. He didn't throw a punch.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 29 and number 95. Both of them were flagrant fouls. Both of them are ejected from the game. Also, after the play was over, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 70. This is his first towards ejection. All those penalties all set. We're going to proceed to the try.
Jaden Kennard's a senior. That's why you're seeing his frustration, because this could be the final time he plays for Newberry. And he also, when they called him for the penalty, acted like he didn't know what he did. Jaden, you threw a punch.
Yeah, and I hope that he's frustrated and upset with himself. And this will be a teaching opportunity, not necessarily for football for him, but for life. When you are faced with a situation, you either react or you respond. He reacted, and generally reactions are going to go bad because they're emotionally based. Responses is how you handle things with your brain. He reacted, and he reacted poorly, and he got caught. Same thing with Javion Harris. I think DeVries responded. He saw what was happening to his quarterback. He went in and gave a push. He got a penalty for it, which is what he should have gotten, but he didn't throw a punch, and he still gets to play today.
On all that, too, St. Torrey Jones, the guy who started all of it with the late hit, doesn't end up getting it.
How about that, right?
A lot of moving parts there, but at the end of it, it's a Ferris State touchdown for Chase Carter, as Jaden Kennard's day is done for fighting.
This is what makes this sport so amazing.
The college football playoff first round begins Friday, December 19th and continues Saturday, December 20th.
And in that football game you're going to watch next Saturday at 3:30, the starting quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels was the starting quarterback for the Ferris State Bulldogs last year when they won the national championship. Trinidad Chambliss, you know, obviously, Tioka, the whole situation at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin has been very, very strange, to say the least, over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. But lost in all of that, Ole Miss is having a remarkable season, and Trinidad Chambliss is putting up Heisman-level numbers this year for the Rebs.
Yeah, and shout out to the entire Rebels organization to understand that that guy had the ability to play at one entire level higher. And obviously, Chambliss, got to give him a lot of credit for going in and being the baller that he was in D2. He took that same sort of attitude and production to D1.
Great tackle on special teams. Couldn't even reach the 20-yard line. Hello, doing nice work. Kevin Symes, the former Belleville Tiger.
This is where the momentum has changed. Now, Ferris State team, the entire team in black jerseys, have complete control of this game and the emotions on their side. What can Newberry do to snatch old Uncle Mo back to your side? Obviously, they're going to be down 2 starters on defense, and so now the offense has to pick it up. This is what team football is all about. Can they do it?
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team, number 34, 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, first down, Newberry.
I believe that is the 4th combined unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Newberry in the last 3 snaps of football.
Correction, it's half the distance to the goal.
Again, the first rule of winning is you can't beat yourself. They beat themselves in the first half with turnovers, 5 of them. This half, they're starting to beat themselves with costly penalties.
And another drive, and they got to go a long way. Ball spotted at the 8. Sharpie, almost threw another pick. That was way behind Desashore, and that was nearly an INT for Alston Ware.
Well, he almost destroyed my theory of throwing the ball outside, you're good to go, but I'm not sure what happened there, honestly. It looks like he did not think his receiver, Desashore, was going to turn out because he threw that ball inside where only the defender could catch it. And luckily enough, Alston Ware couldn't come up with it.
Multiple men in motion. Sharpie roll and Norris catch, hurdling his way out of bounds just to get some positive yardage back for Newberry. Still going to be 3rd down coming up.
I've been impressed with Jonah Norris. I think he's a really good athlete and extremely versatile. 5'11", 220, just a sophomore, a guy that they get the ball to in a variety of ways.
What's the call here, you think, 3rd and 5?
Well, I think, again, you don't throw the ball over the middle. Whatever you're doing it on the outside. I also like the idea of changing the launch point, getting Reed Sharpie on the move. He's made some big plays getting out of the pocket.
Quick throw, wide open, 1st down and more. He took a crunch. Will Young got slammed from behind by Tim Allen, but it is 1st down, Newberry.
Yeah, great job of holding on to that football, but again, ball's not going in the middle, right? This is a great job by Sharpie feeling the pressure and understanding he can get the ball out of his hands quickly. They brought a double-edged pressure on the outside, playing off-man coverage. If you get the ball out of your hands quickly, your receiver will have room to run, and that's an excellent job by doing just that by Sharpie.
Quez Spells, the motioning back, caught it, and he wasn't going anywhere. Justin Payout has a lot of picks, but he can make it happen all over the place on D.
I don't have the best memory in the world, partner, but I remember this is exactly how Newberry started the game. The same swing pass. The problem is they slipped. This time they complete the pass, but they did not expect such an aggressive play. And I don't know why, because Justin Payout is aggressive. If you don't get him blocked, he's going to make plays in the run game. And, of course, we know how good he is in the pass.
Loss of 4 on the play. There's been a lot of negative plays today for Newberry. Sharpie roll. Spells again. And this time he gets out of bounds. Gains 4. 3rd down 10 coming up.
Yeah, I like the idea of changing the launch point, getting him away from pressure, which makes it easier on his reads. Now, what it does do is cut down half the field of where the ball can be thrown, but it makes the reads easier so he can get the ball out of his hands. You're not looking to necessarily pick up a 1st down right there. You're trying to get positive yardage to make it manageable. I'm just not sure against this defense, 3rd and 9 is manageable.
Newberry did go 5 of 7 on 3rd down in the first half.
Starts with protection.
Sharpie's got time. Short to Spells, and Byers said, "You're not going anywhere."
Pass is complete to Spells.
4th down.
Byers doing his job. And so much of being a good football player is doing your job. And they talk about the natural feel he has in pass coverage. He had the back man to man. What I like, though, is he didn't blow his assignment and he went up and made a full speed tackle. You see a lot of defenders slow down and chop their feet in the open field. That gives the time for the back to make their move. He ran up, made the tackle, kept his leverage. Excellent job by number 7, Isaiah Byers.
It's Brady Rose back deep. Nettles off the side of his foot. Yelling, "Get away, get away, Peter, Peter." And that ball will be down at the 39-yard line. Ferris State, the reigning dynasty in Division II, trying to salt away a trip back to the national championship. This has been the season of a lifetime for Newberry College football. First ever trip to the Division II semifinals, and no one is enjoying this run more than their radio broadcaster, Jimmy Coggins. The man on the left is broadcasting his 464th consecutive Newberry game today.
Wait, consecutive?
Yeah.
I haven't done anything consecutively for that many times except for breathe. And I'm not even sure I've done that. I'm not even sure if I got 464 breaths in a row. That is amazing. You talk about showing up now. Forget about Cal Ripken Jr. Mr. Scoggins, you're the guy.
That's a famous name in South Carolina broadcasting. His dad worked at Clemson for a long time. Brady Rose making something out of nothing, and it's a shame that's probably coming back because there's a flag behind the play.
Oh my goodness. I want to break that down. I want to break that. What a play. Well, looks like they're going backwards. 5'8", 175. And they said he's not that big, folks. But you can exist in football if you're that small, if it's made up of all heart. He doesn't care about how small he is as we get ready to get the call. He doesn't care how big the other guys are. All he cares is winning. Brady Rose. You just know he's the type of guy that's going to be successful in life no matter what he does, because he's a find-a-way type guy. I like those guys. I'm going to find a way to get some food after this.
All right.
Prior to the snap,
because I'm that type of guy.
Offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
You know, that run
Game
was so
clock operator, please set the time to 3:46. Thank you.
You know, that run was so great for Brady. I know it's coming back, but let's just watch it again because it's fun.
Because you can't coach this type of heart.
The clock will start on the snap.
Bounce off, make you miss too, and dive for extra yardage. This is why you see guys in NFL level bust, because you can't quantify heart. You can quantify the 40 time and how many bench presses they can do, but what will a guy do when you put him in a pair of shoulder pads and you got people chasing him? I know what number 22 will do.
Carter throw.
Oh my goodness, and he did that.
If you never believed in the broadcaster's jinx, Brady, hand up, that's our fault, sorry.
Oh my goodness, ball was right in his hands. Never do. I didn't see him drop anything on tape. But so he is human.
We talked about it earlier. Brady was a high school folk hero. He was the quarterback at Mona Shores when they won the state championship over mighty De La Salle back in 2020. Carter slipping. Chase Carter running. Chase Carter, first down and more. Guess who's putting a block? Brady Rose way downfield as Chase Carter finally slips out of bounds on a play that looked dead like 3 different times.
There's a lot of tired defenders wearing white jerseys, folks. There's the slip. Now he's shot out of a cannon. There's nobody else to front him up until he gets into the secondary, and he's opening up. And like you mentioned, watch little Brady getting in the way. Trying to protect his quarterback.
Another drive for the best offense in college football, deep into Newberry territory. Gulker running left. 4 different men have taken snaps from the quarterback spot today. Carter, Bauer, Gulker, and Rose. And unfortunately, we got a couple of Newberry Wolves down. Devron Williams is one of them.
And remember, they're already down 2 starters in Jaden Kennard, their strong safety, and defensive tackle Javion Harris. And so now the depth of this Newberry defense will be severely tested.
Good to see Santori Jones get to his feet. Grew up in Cross, South Carolina. The cool thing, Tioka, about this game between Newberry and Ferris State is it's really a showcase for the high school talent from Michigan, where Ferris State is, and from South Carolina, where Newberry is. You look up and down those rosters and you see a lot of local guys, quote unquote, on both teams.
Yeah, I love that. Love to see that. Right now, a lot of pressure is on all high school players because of the way the portal is being recruited. It forces what would be normally FCS players and even FBS players down a notch because there's less slots available because teams are hitting the portal. And so you're going to continue to see D3 and D2 quality football continue to go higher. And I am jealous that I can't get out there and ride that sleigh because it looks like that young man and his friends are having a ton of fun, but I'm stuck in here with you in this warm booth, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, you want to run down there in the fourth quarter?
No, listen, I'm pump faking right here.
That reminds me of the Little League World Series where they slide down the hill at Williamsport. That's really cool. There's not many college football stadiums where you can go sledding in the midst of a Division II national semifinal. Gulker, the man in the gun. Patient with that play clock. They're playing 2 teams now. Gulker keeps. Carson Gulker, first down.
How about the ball handling from Gulker? There's some more extracurricular activities. Draws a flag.
It's Akeel Brown who finally made the tackle. And we got a lot of things going on in this third quarter.
Newberry emotionally has to get themselves together. No matter what happens in this game, there's a way you got to play it and respect this game. And right now, they're drawing the line and starting to cross the line on how to respect the game.
Tony Anise is over there for Ferris State trying to make sure his team keeps their composure. You do honestly wonder, Tioka, you know, Newberry's had this magical season, semis for the first time, 9 wins by 7 points or less. Maybe some of the frustration we're seeing as it's finally sinking in, today the high wire act's just going to end.
And that's unfortunate if you're right, and it looks like you might be the way they're taking things, but that's very unfortunate because you've been nothing but a class act all year. And we talked about how often they've come back from behind, and you can't come from behind if mentally you're going over the edge. There's a little extra push first. And we talked about in football, the old rule is it's always the second guy. It looks like Tim Anderson might have gotten the first push, and then multiple defenders in white come in and get the second push. It's always the second guy. That's why I talk about reaction versus responding. That was another reaction.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense. Also, after the play was over, personal foul on the offense. Both penalties all set. Number 3, third down.
Brady Rose is over there going, wait a minute, didn't you see Gear, the guy who was shoving? But Taggart, I think you caught that as well.
Yeah.
They definitely got, I think it was Tim Anderson, 72.
Yeah, and the way he said it was a little different, but I think it's fair because I think Anderson
The
started.
result of the play is a first down
There we go.
for Ferris State.
There were a few eagle-eyed fans when that announcement was made going, wait a minute, that was a first down.
Right.
Under 2 to go in a third quarter that has only featured 7 points from Ferris State. And it's about to feature more points from Ferris State. Jake Price, it's a hat trick.
It's something about their inside run game today that whenever Jake Price sticks his foot in the ground and cuts it up the middle, there's nobody home. You take a look at this. This is zone blocking where you got a hat on a hat. No one's getting off the block. And I promise you, it doesn't get any easier than that in practice. And he's going like, what the heck's going on? I was expecting more. Yeah, well, so were we.
Little Jordan shrug from Jake. Really talented redshirt freshman from Muskegon. Third touchdown of the day for the former Big Red.
Look at the offensive line. There's not a white jersey that doesn't have a blocker on it except for number 2. He's getting upfield to take care of the quarterback. So he runs himself out of the play and he's doing what he's supposed to do, but just a great job by Price cutting it back to daylight.
Ferris State, the finest offense statistically in all of college football. 53.8 points per game, 516 yards per game. There was a game they had against Roosevelt back at the beginning of October where they had 788 total yards of offense. And Taggart, I think the biggest compliment you can give this Ferris State offense is you truly don't know who's going to have the hot hand each game. Today it's Jake Price.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's spreading the wealth. Everybody gets involved. That keeps everybody excited. It's the type of offense you want to play in. They obviously are run heavy, but they do throw it a lot when they need to. And it's usually off of play action. And when they throw the ball, they're looking to make big chunk plays.
Mitch Middleton back out there to kick it away. It's been a very common sight for Ferris State football this year. Alex Meeks with a nice catch, but it was a fair catch. You know, the coaching staff for Ferris State told us about Jake Price. You know, we've been using him at the end of games to close wins out. Today, he's been bell cow from start to finish.
And again, it's a reoccurring theme on these touchdowns. When he cuts it back up the middle, there's nobody to chest him up. And he's proven that he can run through arm tackles. When you're that short, but you're strong in your lower body, it makes it tougher to tackle you because you become kind of like a bowling ball running downhill. And that's what he is. And he's been a lot more than just a closer today. He's done it for all 3 quarters.
Another explosive offensive afternoon for Ferris State. As Newberry's offense has been stuck in neutral in the second half, and they're going back.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. First down.
Taggart, you tell me, how does that happen on a change of possession?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's just a lack, again, of concentration. We talked about the lack of concentration early on, and right now it's biting Newberry offensively. They're not mentally on the screws defensively, and right now the offense comes out and gets an unnecessary penalty. Shows me that they're not concentrating either.
Sharpie with time, and he's got Desashore. That's been a lethal combination all year. And even as Newberry is behind the 8 ball, they're still using it as Sharpie was crushed on the play. Payout made the tackle in the secondary.
It's one of the few times they've thrown the ball over the middle and it's worked. Give a lot of credit to Keith Desasor because he beat Payout. As you see, they're starting quarterback Reed Sharpie jogging off the field, and that's not a good sign. I like that he left on his own power, though, but now Coleman Gray's in the ballgame.
He used number 12 a lot as the running quarterback.
Great and short yardage in the goal line.
He's going to try and throw here. Off his back foot, and he's got Jonah Norris. Jonah won't go down. First throw of the game for Coleman Gray, and that was a back foot dime with a flag back by the quarterback.
Boy, that didn't look great to start off that play. It looked like Gray wasn't sure where to go with the football. You see him jogging off. We'll check the flag, but again, so impressed, Jonah Norris.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Fit half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. Automatic. First down.
That's a huge call. Let's take a look at it. Looking for somebody to throw it to. Boom. That's it? Are you kidding me? They're calling Tim Allen for that? Come on now. Wait a minute. Look, I'm all for protecting the passer. But the last time I checked, this is still tackle football. And he has to play full speed until the ball is gone. I have no idea why that flag was thrown.
I'm sure there's a few people watching this game, Tioka, who agree with you.
My goodness, I'm glad I'm retired, because if I can't hit a quarterback when he's throwing the football like that, I don't want to play.
Sharpie is back in. Brunson the back. Roll to the left. Sharpie coming back to the right, and it's an INT. Sharpie threw up a prayer, and Jalen Jones answered it. That's his second pick.
Yeah, that's just an ill-advised throw, ill-advised decision. That's one of those deals, Evan, where it was open in practice all week. And we need points, and I'm desperate. My receiver's down there somewhere. I'll just throw it down there. Late across your body, the ball floats on him. Trying to get the ball to Norris, who's made a lot of plays all day. I understand you trust the guy, but this is double coverage, and you're throwing it against the best secondary at catching interceptions as there is in America. And Jalen Jones is the only guy on the field who's rivaling Justin Payout as the best defensive player in the game.
Well, how about Jalen Jones? 4 interceptions in the playoffs. A guy who came back from injury, battled his way back, and he adds another element to a Ferris State defense that now has 5 interceptions today, 30 on the season.
Oh my goodness.
And yet again, Ferris State is on the doorstep of a trip to McKinney, Texas to play for a national championship. They're the defending national champs. They've won 3 in the last 4 years. And
This
Ferris
is the end
State,
of the third quarter.
12 minutes away in this snow globe that is Big Rapids, Michigan, a couple of weeks before Christmas, of playing for a crown in Texas next weekend. Staying warm by any means necessary at Top Taggart Field today. Dan's underneath there, our camera guy. I promise.
I don't know that's a bot. That might be a bot. I don't know that. If he waves again, then I'll believe it. If he doesn't wave again, that's a bot, bro. See, that's a bot. I don't know that Dave's under there.
What we do know is that although Ferris State has a big lead in this game, Tioka, it could easily be different because of the disparity in turnovers. Newberry has thrown 5 interceptions. They have 6 turnovers in this game. For a team all year long that prided itself on not turning the ball over, their offense today has really shot themselves in the foot again and again and again.
No question about it. You can't come on the road and expect to give the home team the ball 6 times but still win. That's just not how football is played. It's not how football is won, especially when you consider the team you continue to give it to has been the best team in D2 all year. So it's not just the turnovers. You're not getting enough of them on your own. You've only forced one. So that's -5 if you're Newberry in a turnover battle. I don't care who you're playing, you don't have a shot. And again, when you're playing the best team, the scoreboard will look like it looks right now.
Ferris State last week, they won and beat Minnesota State in the quarters 52-29, but that was a 31-21 game going into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
This is winning time for Ferris State. All those runs that they've had during the game, the nasty boys on the offensive line leaning India, this is where they salt games.
No question about it. They're built to do that. A lot of teams have to now become something else in this situation and try to choke the life out of the game. Well, they start the game choking the life out of the game with this running game. And so now they're just going to be what they are, a run-heavy offense that doesn't turn it over and controls the line of scrimmage.
High snap, they get it down and give it to Price. Gets a few more yards. That bowling ball wearing 25 in black, gold, and red. One of his best games of the season with those 3 touchdowns today.
Haven't played as long as I have. I've been in this situation, and I promise you, the big guys up front in black are having a ball. And the big guys up front in white are absolutely not. This is slow death. Kill me fast. But if you're in a situation like this, if you're a defensive lineman and you know they're going to run it and there's really not a lot you can do about it, it is painful, folks.
Gulker to the left. Gulker first down and more. Carson Gulker, the tight end of the year in the CLIAC in name only. He plays every position.
There you go. In name only, you said it. He's all over the place. And they do a good job of putting him in positions for success. You see on a lot of levels, a lot of offensive coordinators don't know exactly how to use the talent on their roster and put them in position to excel. That is not the case here. Steve and Neeson company know exactly what to do with their players to give them the best opportunity to win.
Taggart, when we look at Carson Gulker, right, you asked the Ferris State coaching staff, are there any guys you think are going to get a look in the NFL? He's the first name they brought up.
Yeah, and the name that I brought up after that was Harold Fanning Jr., the outstanding player that played in the MAC at Bowling Green State University, excuse me, who was, I want to say, a third-round pick of the Cleveland Browns, who's having an outstanding rookie season as a tight end. But I think that is the perfect comp for Gulker, as you see them continue to run the football.
Oh, ball's out. Price
yeah.
lost it. And that's the second turnover today by Ferris State. Jake Price has had a heck of a game, but that time he got popped.
And you know what? I'm just telling you right now, this is, if you are a Ferris State fan, I'm not saying you're happy they turn it over here, but this is giving us an opportunity for this coaching staff to jump the case of these players. All right, they've won what will be now 15 in a row this season, and they've made just enough mistakes, though, to get the coaching staff of this team to get their attention. So that'll have them squared away for next week. But give a lot of credit now to Newberry defensively. We were wondering mentally were they going to keep playing hard. Well, they showed me something right there causing that fumble.
Reed Sharpie's had better days. Harlan Hill finalist. That's the Heisman Award in Division II football. And he's still gunslinging. And he's stepping into a sack. Stanley Lambert swallows it.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where the consistent pressure is in the head of Reed Sharpie. I want you to take a look at Sharpie here now in this pocket. Everything's fine here. Now watch this. You see that? He's feeling it before it actually happens. He's anticipating contact in the rush because it's been there so often today. And that's not the Reed Sharpie I know. Reed Sharpie I know feels the pressure and evades it and extends the play. That time, he didn't get that done because the hits are mounting on number one.
Had to take Sharpie out. Coleman Gray's back in. Oh, that is a different way to run the triple option.
Yep.
They finally get it to Jonah Norris, and it turns into a pretty good play.
Yeah, they ran that actually earlier in the game, but the second pitch didn't happen because no defender showed up. So the first pitch man began to get around the corner of the defense to get the first down. But that's what that, like you said, that sort of new age triple option, that's exactly how it's run. I would have liked to seen the first pitch man hold it a little bit longer to draw the defense, but picked up a lot of yards, and now you've got a manageable situation on third down when you know it's 4-down territory.
You know, the Army-Navy game is today. We're going to get in a little triple option in D2.
Right.
Come on now. Sharpie back in. Third down throw, and caught. Another hookup with Rico Dorsey. And the drive's alive.
How about the toughness of Sharpie, though? Just getting battered, beleaguered, and continues to keep playing. That's what I'm talking about, respecting the game. I mean, this game is not a right, it's a privilege to play college football. On any level, I don't care where you're playing. There are a lot of people that are sitting on their couch who wish they were where you are right now. So continue to respect the game and play the game that we all love, because it's been so good to you. And so I respect Reed Sharpie.
5 picks and still slinging. No throw again. Rolling right. And Desashore makes a nice catch. Flag behind the play, back near the line of scrimmage. 2 of them.
I think this ball is coming back.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
It's on Nathaniel Rock.
They take Rock out immediately, and he's pleading his case with his coaches, but kind of been the story of this second half. Untimely penalties by Newberry, and of course the turnovers.
Back him all the way to the 34. Sharpie's got all day. And he's uncorking a bomb. Missed Desashore.
Oh, if he'd have completed that one, boy, I'd have been jumping out of my seat. That would have been an amazing throw and catch.
Keith just knocked over some stanchions, benches over there. And okay, watch at the end. So the pass is incomplete. And Giassi Madison, #1 for Ferris State, with the best sportsmanship of the day. He's going to help him up. I love that.
Oh, isn't that nice? Give him a little pat, a little love tap on the helmet. That's it.
It's easy to do that when you're up 30.
Right? That's the other side of it. I always had the rule never help up the offense. You never caught me doing that. I have no sportsmanship.
Swinging out to Brunson, good tackle. Alston Ware, the Floridian, grew up 20 minutes from Orlando, made the tackle.
First team all super region. Not corners that can tackle. I know your first job is to cover, I get that. But I like two-way corners, guys that can cover and tackle. And Ferris State has a bunch of them.
A dynasty that sure doesn't look like it's gonna end today. The defending national champions are 9 minutes away from their 29th win in a row and their 39th win in their last 40 home games. Sharpie on third down in Grand Rapids. Looking downfield, shovel pass caught. Desashore got popped by Stanley Lambert. There is a flag down in the secondary.
And this is why Reed Sharpie is a Harlan Hill finalist. His ability to improvise and extend plays is as good as anybody at the position playing D2 football.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense, number 0. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Drives alive. Jarrett Fields, the man who committed the penalty. Jarrett's a sophomore from St. Petersburg down in Florida. Tioga, that's your neck of the woods.
Yeah, they do a great job of dipping into Florida. They get a lot of speed in that secondary, but I mean, there's one state in America where you're looking for second level and third level defenders. Florida's that state. They got a bunch of them, right? I mean, you think about the state feeds all of the FBS teams. They've got a couple FCS and HBCUs down there to get fed by that state. I mean, that's the place to go find athletes.
Sharpie to throw. Over the middle. Taggart, you said at halftime, no more throws over the middle. That may have been their first throw over the middle in the second half.
Well, they completed one, and I was shocked about it. And again, then he completed it on Justin Payout. It was even more shocking. But again, I'd stay away from it. So often the ball's ending up in the ground or in the hands of the defender. And you can best believe whoever plays them next week, that is going to be clear on this tape when they watch it. Throwing the ball over the middle against this secondary is a recipe for disaster.
Kutztown or Harding awaiting the winner of this one. Sharpie in trouble. And he's going down. Oh, bunch of Bulldogs getting to the quarterback. And they're starting to have a party in that backfield. Zach Kelly, big 98, one of the men there.
6'1", 300 pounds. And when he falls on you, it hurts. I can best believe that now.
Zach went to Forest Hills Northern. That's the same high school as Trinidad Chambliss. And there's no Ole Miss game today. I got a sneaking suspicion Trinidad's watching down in Oxford right now. Tony Anise, the head coach for Ferris State, said he was texting with Trinidad during the week. He wanted to know the scouting report.
Yep.
How's Newberry looking? Although he's off to the college football playoff, Trinidad's still paying attention to the Division II players.
You got a lot of friends on this team. Players and coaching staff.
Newberry calls the timeout.
Newberry. This is the second.
They'll have third down in Detroit.
College football's most prestigious fraternity welcomes a new member. The Heisman Trophy ceremony presented by Nissan, tonight at 7 on ABC.
Still TBD on who's going to win the Heisman tonight. Odds-on favorites Fernando Mendoza. Feels like that's going to be a testament to the remarkable Indiana football story and the job Curt Cignetti's done the last 2 years. Phenomenal.
Yeah, the numbers aren't blow-you-away numbers from Fernando, but what he's done for the culture of that offense and that entire team and the plays he's made when the game has been on the line, I don't know how you don't give it to him.
Norris got tackled by a whole pack of Bulldogs. Trinidad Chambliss, the former Ferris State quarterback, now at Ole Miss, figures to finish top 10 in the Heisman voting this year. This Ferris State program, remarkably proud of the players that they have sent on, not just to FBS. They sent 8 guys from last year's national championship team to FBS football, but they also have NFL guys amongst their ranks. 5
of those 8 guys were on this offense alone, and what do? They just come back and lead the nation in scoring and total offense. So they just retool. No rebuild over here.
4th down 15, and Sharpie throws incomplete. Hoping for DeAndre Coleman, and Alston Ware said no.
Yeah, that's excellent man coverage. So often you see defensive backs in that situation get nervous and foul. But this time he does not get handsy, does a great job of going up and meeting the ball at the highest point for the breakup to keep Newberry out of the end zone.
The Division II playoffs continue with the championship game next Saturday on ESPN2. For more information, go visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Big Rapids to McKinney, Texas, a well-worn path at this point. Ferris to face the winner of Kutztown and Harding for the national championship. It'll be fun if Harding gets there because Harding won it in 2023. Ferris State won it last year, so we could have the last 2 Division II national champions playing one another. But Kutztown's also an outstanding story, proud program, great tradition, and that would be their first ever trip to the national championship. Clock killing time for Ferris State. Running up the middle, get as many yards as they can. Newberry down to just the 1 timeout left plus the 2-minute timeout.
Well, again, whoever plays this outfit of Ferris State, you got to understand a couple of things. One, you got to be able to shut the run game down to the point where it's not going for over 300 yards. You may be able to give up around 200 and have a chance, but if you're getting near 300 yards, you got no shot. Two, you better be able to run the football enough to keep the defense honest, because if you're getting in too often must-pass situations, they're going to bury you with pressure and turnovers.
This is the 5th different guy taking snaps at quarterback. LaShawn Mumfield hands, and whoever Ferris State puts in the ball game, it all still works. Kevin Symes, first down and more.
And why does it work? It's because of the offensive line. It doesn't really matter because they control the line of scrimmage.
Kevin Symes, who just had that last run for Ferris State, he played on the same high school team as Bryce Underwood. When Bryce and Kevin and a whole bunch of Belleville Tigers were on the team, they once won 38 straight games and 2 state championships. Of course, the news of the week in college football, Bryce Underwood is apparently going to have a new head coach next year.
Well, there's some people that are speculating that Bryce Underwood may not be in Ann Arbor next year.
You know, to that point, with Michigan now seeking a new coach, of course, that was the topic du jour on Detroit Sports Talk Radio over the last couple of days, and there were a bunch of people who seriously would call in to 97.1 The Ticket and say, why don't you take a look at Tony Annese at Ferris State? I mean, all he does is win.
I mean, great coaching is great coaching at any level. And you're a culture builder, you could be a culture builder at any level. Why? Because football is way more about the Jessies and Joes than it is about the X's and O's. It's a people business, Evan. And you know, they talk about, he said when he took this job, talking about Tony Annese, that this was going to be about loving the players. The catalyst to success is love, is what he said. And what does he mean by that? Loving up the players, letting them know that they care, the staff cares more about the players on the field, or excuse me, off the field than they do on the field. They care about the entirety of the player. That matters. And helping the young people understand that matters. That, you know, it's not us against the players, it's we together against the world. And so they've done a great job of doing that, and that's why he wanted the NAIA level, junior college level, and now at the D2 level. Again, it's a lot to win at any level of college football. It takes a lot. Things you got to have a lot of support from the staff that you hire, and then also from the administration and all of that. But the things that are tenets of this program, they're successful in FCS and FBS as well, and so why not the Annese family?
You know what I think about when it comes to Tony Annese is, famously, when Curt Cignetti got the job at Indiana, he said, Google me, I win. Well, Tony Annese was the head coach at Muskegon High School, won 3 state championships. Then he went to Grand Rapids Community College, 2 national junior college national championships. And if Ferris State wins next week, that's 4 national championships here at Ferris State.
There you go. I mean, come on. Some stats do lie. Winning does not.
Mumfield's punt, and Newberry will get away from it. It'll be down right around the 10, and Newberry will at least get 1 more offensive series in the greatest series, the greatest season in program history. If those folks are traveling down to Texas next week to watch Ferris State play for another national championship, I hope for their sake it's warmer.
If they're trying to show us that they can hang and be warm, they're not doing a great job of. They look miserable, I'm not going to lie.
This is one of those games. It's like if you go to a baseball early season game where it's like in the 30s and snowy. On the way out of Top Taggart Field today, I don't want to speak for the Ferris State Athletic Department, but they should be giving away free tickets to games next year. Please, thank you for coming today. You are a fan.
And how about free hot chocolate? I'm in favor of that as well.
And maybe a little bit of extra in that hot chocolate to
maybe
keep you warm.
Yeah, maybe that's just my sweet tooth talking.
Jonah Norris will run it to the left. And Look, Taggart, we've talked a ton about Ferris State today, and with good reason. This is the best program in Division II football right now. But although today didn't go their way, you cannot take away the season that Newberry just had, the success that Todd Knight and the entire coaching staff has had. This is a season they will remember forever at Newberry College.
And look, some of their top line players are done with eligibility, but they got a lot of young players on this roster who've gotten a lot of experience. There are a lot of sophomores in their starting lineup. And you got, guys coming back who understand now, after they've gotten their taste of the playoffs. You see ball almost tipped and big hit on the receiver. But you got guys with a lot of experience that are coming back, and especially defensively, a lot of young players. So the future of this Newberry program looks good to me because they've made a deep run. Like you said, the best ever in program history. They've had a record-breaking quarterback that they're going to have to try to replace. They got a record-breaking receiver that they got to try to replace. But the core of the rest of the team is coming back, and I think that's a really good sign.
A few more snaps for Reed Sharpe. His grandpa's in the Athletic Hall of Fame at Newberry. Reed played for his dad, longtime high school coach in South Carolina. Again, that journey for Reed Sharpe, the quarterback for Newberry. 6th season, 25-year-old on his 4th school. Originally, he was going to go play college baseball. Then he tried to be a walk-on receiver at South Carolina. Then a walk-on quarterback at NC State. What's that old saying? All roads lead to home. And this year, home was where the heart was.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
Reed Sharpe. 2 minutes to go. A few more snaps for Newberry College. Ferris State will get a shot to defend their Division II National Championship next week, and now we got to find out who they'll play. Judd Novak, Harlan Hill finalist for Kutztown, to take on Harding and their Harlan Hill finalist, Andrew Miller, coming up. Kickoff just around the corner.
Don't let that bright sun fool you. It's still 36 degrees in Kutztown. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. What's going on here?
The tarps off trend has gone too far. Boys, it feels like -8. I love you, but you're idiots. Oh, drop snap. Nettles does get it away for Newberry as
great effort.
Ferris State was apparently sending the house. There's a reason they look cold. Tayoka, you talk, because that decision is melting my brain.
No, I don't get that at all. I mean, and if they're students, I'm wondering, are their parents thinking, is this what I sent you? Is this what I sent you to Ferris State for? And the answer is clearly yes. I got a feeling, though, that they're not feeling the cold whatsoever. And I'm not going to talk about why, but I got a feeling that they're not feeling a thing right
Someone text them and say, fellas, you got on TV. Now, for the love of God, put a shirt on.
Yeah, there is, so they're putting their health at risk right now, to be honest with you.
I mean, I just don't understand it. God bless you guys.
Oh,
God bless.
Goodness.
Crazy, crazy.
See what happens when you kill brain cells, kids? Stay away from that.
This is going to go down as the greatest football season in the history of Newberry College. And Tayoka was talking about it. There are pieces coming back to a program that made it here for the first time ever. But Tony Annese has built one of the finest college football programs at any level across America. The defending Division II national champions, who have won 29 in a row, and 39 of their last 40 games here at Top Taggart Field, are going back down to Texas to try to win their 4th national championship in 5 seasons.
The stadium is a graveyard for opposing teams, not because of luck or because of mystique. They've made this place a fortress by the way they play. They're no nonsense. They don't make a ton of mistakes. They don't beat themselves. They force you to be excellent in your preparation and execution. Most teams can't do that at a high level. And they run the football and pound you and make you say ouch. That's old school winning formula. And even in today, with all of the innovation in college football, the more physical team at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball still will usually win the game. And Ferris State has done it 15 times this year.
The Ferris State dynasty will not end today. The Bulldogs are going back to the national championship. Tony Annese just won his 152nd game all-time at Ferris State. You know, if you've been following this level of collegiate football for a while, you know Ferris State's big rival is Grand Valley, just down the road in Allendale. When Brian Kelly was the coach, for years, Grand Valley was the program that was the juggernaut at this level of collegiate football, and certainly within the state of Michigan at this level of collegiate football. Ferris State in the last half-decade, and for many, many years now, has totally flipped the script on Grand Valley.
Yeah, and that's why I call these guys a dynasty. I didn't hear it all week, but the way this thing is setting up, it's a dynasty. And I think if they are somehow able to win the game in Texas, to win the national championship, I think other people will begin to use the term dynasty. I don't think that that's out of the question. I mean, it's just really hard to string together national championships in such a short time frame like this, but these guys are able to do it, and their formula is well tested and it performs well.
To play the winner of Kutztown and Harding coming up, kick just around the bend on ESPN+. They were tested. Ferris State got off to a 21-0 lead, and then all of a sudden Newberry rips off 17 points in a row. But Taggart, really where the game flipped, right? Everybody talks about Ferris State's offense, but where was the game decided? Defense, 6 takeaways, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and that formula is, again, that's tried and true formula. If I take the ball away from the other team more than I give away, I'm going to most likely win the game, especially at home, especially when I got the #1 offense in the entire nation. So yeah, defensively, as great as their offense is, defensively, they're really the most valuable piece of the team because they give you extra possessions.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Oh my goodness.
6 turnovers forced by Ferris State, 5 interceptions, 30 on the season.
And I like how you use the term forced. That nothing was given, even the fumble, 2 guys on the ball punching the ball out, diving interceptions, unbelievable coverage with great hands. These balls were not given to the defense. These were balls that were taken out of the offensive player's hands.
Ferris State marching on to McKinney, Texas, hoping to hear from their head coach Tony Annese here in a moment. You know, if they end up playing Harding, we've talked about how fun that matchup would be in terms of the last 2 national champions, but Harding's had this amazing offense in Division II football this year. They run the flex bone, they're running all over people, kind of like what Ferris State runs.
Sean Mumfield, Caleb Davis, Jarvis Windows, Caleb Washington, and Cooper Nye.
Remember how Coach was talking about the love in his program? Mm-hmm. You can tell how much they love each other.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this game has been long over, even before the final zeros hit the scoreboard, but this is the culture. These things, I'm telling you, if you've never been a part of it, are invaluable in bringing people together, especially young people, so that they fight for each other and not just for themselves.
Coach Annese just won his 152nd game in 13 years at Ferris State. He's taken his team back to the national championship game, trying to win it for the 2nd straight year and the 4th time in 5 years. They're about to celebrate again in Big Rapids, Michigan. They get a chance to defend that national championship down in Texas next week. Coach Annese standing by with us. Coach, you got Evan and Taggart here up in the booth. Coach, first question, most important question. How many layers did we wear today?
I think I got 10 on. I know I got 6 on the bottom, and then I think 10 up here. But stayed pretty warm. I don't think anybody else did. You guys did because you're upstairs in 70-degree weather up in the press box. But so, yeah, I hung in there. Feel pretty good.
Well, Coach, I know one thing. Your defense was hot today, and they've been hot all year. Talk about what this defense does for your entire team in terms of giving your offense extra possessions.
Yeah, you know, I mean, quite a few picks today. Those guys really are active guys, and you know, I mean, Justin Payout's been doing this for 4 years for us, so he's 5, I don't know, maybe he's 5'5", but from Miami, Florida, and obviously a super player. So really proud of the whole group, and happy to, you know, it's a dream come true, you know, when you talk about going back to Texas and trying to defend it. It's so hard to do, you know. I mean, that's 15 straight games with W's, so pretty wild.
You know, Coach, we were talking about it in the fourth quarter. Maybe there's some people watching this game who are just being introduced to your program. You're on the verge of back-to-back national championships in 4 out of the last 5 years. What is going on here with Ferris State football that is so special?
Well, if anybody wants to pay me a lot of money, I'll tell them that, but how to develop it. You know, Signetti does it every day. He's telling people how to do it. So, but I don't know. It's been miraculous. We've got a great group of young men, and they work hard, and they never, I've said this before, but they never lose their chip. Second, I was going to see if I could pull a chip out, but we all hold on to chips. I'm going to show you this on TV.
Getting through those 10 layers, Coach.
Yeah, no, it's on the top layer, man. I got to have this one. But that's our chip, all right? This is our motto, in the fold, okay? And then there it says, keep your chip. And in the fold, our 4 core values are faith, order, love, and discipline. And that's our chip. And I have it with me all the time. So does every player have it with them. And we just remind ourselves to, you know, a lot of people talk about complacency and, oh, you guys are going to fall off because of what you achieved, and our guys just keep their chip. And, you know, obviously in a weather like this, you see that, you know, they just grind it out. They're tough.
Coach, congratulations, and for the love of God, go inside and get warm.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Well, I'll be doing that quickly. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Best of luck next week to the Ferris State Bulldogs, going back to defend their national championship. If you haven't heard of Ferris State football, learn about them. This is one of the best football programs in collegiate football. For Tyoka Jackson and our whole hard-working crew on a frigid day, Evan Stockton saying so long from Big Rapids, where Ferris State is going back to the national championship. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.